Aim, take care of your vehicle with new filters, batteries, windshield wipers, and wiper fluid from Wagner Auto Supply, 1st Street Northwest, Lamars.
Get more because you deserve more with Kylie Petty's Century 21 ProLink, serving Lamar since 2011. Wishing our local teams a successful season. Visit KyliePetty.com for your real estate needs.
Success is born of skill and team. Like the teams playing, CNOS has combined award-winning skill and teamwork into the premier medical facility in the region. For the areas of joint, bone, muscle, nerve, and brain are treated with the skills of comprehensive care from a team of highly trained experts. And CNOS takes care of many of the student athletes in Siouxland. CNOS is proud to bring you this game. Go to cnos.net to learn more.
From playtime to game time, Launchpad Children's Museum fuels young imaginations while our hometown sports teams inspire the next generation of champions. Best of luck to our area teams from Launchpad Children's Museum.
Kemp's Dairy of Lamars is a proud supporter of area athletics. They focus on strong, healthy bodies with all their dairy products. And they continue to strive hard to provide the best possible dairy products to their customers. That's Kemp's Dairy of Lamars. Connected Electric South is your electrical headquarters for residential, commercial, and agriculture. Call for a free quote today at 546-5062. Call Connected Electric South for all your electrical needs. 546-5062.
It's now time for high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
McCarty in the pistol. He takes the snap. Bootlegs right. He's looking to throw. Now he turns it up the field and runs to the 10, to the 5, middle of the field. Cuts back left side. He's in. Touchdown, Gehlen Catholic.
High school football.
Pump fake. Lobs it up right seam for Crankus. Back there. And Brant Klein comes down with it at the 30-yard line. Brant Klein picks off his second pass.
With all the action, here's KLEM Sports Director Daniel Versteeg.
Another night of high school football is upon us. It is week 6 of the high school football season. It's crazy to say that, but we are into October where the games mean more, and more is on the line. Tonight, the number 1 team in Class A football statewide comes to Lamar's in Jim Lorenzen Field as MMCRU looks to remain unbeaten against Gehlen Catholic, who knocked off a number 1 ranked team in Lamar's last year when Woodbury Central came to town. Welcome into our Friday Night Football pregame show from Jim Lorenzen Field in Lamar's, alongside Gabe Davis, Daniel Versteeg with you. And yes, we are at home for the first time this season. Well, that is thanks to Lamar's playing Sioux City West last night. But the matchup at hand features Gehlen Catholic and MMCRU. The Jays are 2-3 overall. They are 2-1 in district play and still firmly in the playoff race, tied for third. MMCRU trying to run away and secure a district title. They are 5-0 and 3-0 in district competition. Well, we were talking prior to this, Gabe, if we just look at MMCRU prior to our pregame show, which will feature both coaches, by the way, Coach Kyle Oswald and Coach Jeremy Schindler. We both made the comment, it was crazy to think about 3 or 4 years ago, having 2 wins would have been a monumental accomplishment for this Royal football team. Now they're the number 1 team in the state, 5-0, and potentially a favorite to get to the Dome. Just an incredible turnaround the last few seasons.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about last night with the West game, and we talked about how they've had that stretch of tough luck, and now you see. We talked about what their coaches are trying to do, and that's what's happened here. And it doesn't hurt when you have a class with 21 seniors.
Yes.
I mean, that's at any level, 21 seniors is a lot of seniors. But then in a smaller school, it's even more amazing. But that goes to say exactly why they're successful. When you have guys that have been in the program, done the right thing, and continue to build off each other, you're going to have success. So, yeah, it's kind of a crazy turnaround. And you know, it's going to be interesting tonight because last year I think we were up at MOC when Gehlen beat Woodbury Central here, and we were tuned in there. And we'd love to have another game like that.
Yep.
And again, you know, when it's teams that are separated by 6 or 7 miles,
Yeah.
there we go. You know, isn't that funny how we got that in already? But with just a few miles, that you know, it's a little bit more. These people have played each other. These guys have known each other for years, and so this will be a battle tonight.
Should we keep a 6-7 tally?
Yeah, that was totally unintentional, but it came out.
Well, it does represent the proximity very well. These two teams very familiar with each other. And Gehlen Catholic, obviously MMCRU's been incredibly successful, a 28-0 victory last week against a good Siblio Cheaton team. It was their first shutout of the year, but they've been shutting people down most of the season. Meanwhile, Gehlen Catholic, boy, they had a rough game last week. They went down to Mobile and had a tough time against Woodbury Central. Unfortunately, couldn't repeat the fortune of last year in the regular season. But this is a good opportunity. You get back home, you play another tough team after 2 weeks on the road. A good opportunity for the Jays to bounce back and see if they can execute the game plan.
Yeah, and you know Coach is going to be prepared. They're big up front, and so they're going to try to control the clock as much as they can, control the line of scrimmage, because that's probably where they're most stable. So it'll be interesting to see how they can attack this also big team on the other side, but trying to keep the ball in your hands, keep it out of an explosive offense on the other side, and really run the clock. And then, you know, when you're the underdog, when you're the Rocky Balboa, as it might be,
right,
you try to just stick around, and you try to make it into the late rounds, and then you never know. You know, you take some shots early, and you see what happens, and maybe you give yourself a shot down the stretch, and that's all you can ask for right now. And you know, coaches, the coaches have been talking about that all week. Just, hey, stick around, fellas. Believe in what we're doing. We've seen it be successful. You got to trust each other.
Should be a great night of football. Gehlen Catholic looking to keep their stride in the district race. MMCRU looking to stay unbeaten and see if they can remain the #1 team in the state. We'll take a break. We've got quite the pregame show for you. We're going to chat with Jeremy Schindler coming up after this first commercial break. And then MMCRU head coach Kyle Oswald will join us as well to preview tonight's matchup between Gehlen Catholic and top-ranked MMCRU, heard right here on KLEM Radio.
MRK Insurance knows that teamwork is dreamwork. At MRK Insurance, you get a great partner for all of your insurance needs. Visit them today on Central Avenue in Lamars for a no-obligation quote for all of your insurance needs. That's MRK Insurance in Lamars.
Hey, Bobby Blazer, how long you been waiting in that line? Head over with me to Easy Clean Car Wash. They're going to get you in and out in no time and make that black coat of yours look like $1,000,000.
Say, thanks there, Mickey Mustang. I've been out four-wheeling and I got lots of mud and stuff in my wheel wells and other places as well.
Bobby, didn't Libby Lexus tell you that Easy Clean Car Wash will pre-spray those hard-to-reach places, give you a quick massage, and make you feel and look like a whole new truck?
So that's what Libby Lexus has been up to. You know, Mickey, she's looking fine.
Easy Clean Car Wash on 12th Street, east of Hy-Vee in Lamars.
Murphy, Collins, and McGill PLC in Lamars supports our local student athletes, trusted for generations with reliable legal guidance. So when you are in need of legal services, consult with one of the attorneys at Murphy, Collins, and McGill PLC, located at 38 First Avenue Northwest, Lamars, Iowa.
This is Lane Knipe, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back to our Friday Night Football pregame show. It's right here on KLEM Radio. Daniel Versteg with you, and we continue our preview of tonight's contest by chatting with the head coach of Gehlen Catholic football. That's Coach Jeremy Schindler, as his team gets ready to take on the #1 team in Class A football, MMCRU, coming to Jim Lorenzen Field tonight. But first, Coach, a tough loss last week, finishing non-district play against Woodbury Central. As you watched film and the practices that took place this week, what were the major lessons that had to be learned from that contest with a team that, that's the kind of caliber of team you could see tonight, and that's the caliber of team you might see in a few weeks in the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is when we did things right, we had success, whether that was defensively or offensively. Didn't happen very often offensively that we did things right, but there was a drive or two in there where we executed pretty well, and we were able to move the ball. We came away with a field goal one drive, and then the other drive, we were down by so much that we got forced to go on it on fourth down and weren't able to convert. But we moved the ball at least, and we were able to, when we executed on offense, we did good things. Defensively, I think, we're a step or two away on every single play. And especially in the secondary. And we just got to make sure that we worked really hard this week to really shore up our technique in some of our coverages and making sure our eyes are in the right place. And then when the ball's in the air, you have to go to it like you're the receiver. And so those were some of the points of emphasis this week.
From an offensive standpoint, you talk about the things. Once you were doing them right, you were getting the results, 15, 20-yard rushing plays or whatever. What do you, and again, maybe this is a hard question to answer, but what are the things that you can do to kind of encourage the consistency, to encourage some of the little things that need to happen just to make sure you can do what you need to do?
Yeah, it starts up front, and I love our guys up front. They play extremely hard, but we had quite a few missed assignments, and it wasn't that they weren't blocking anybody; they were just blocking the wrong person. So we went back and showed them, hey, if we would have blocked here, we cover this guy up, he doesn't make the tackle. And so that was the point of emphasis this week, was just to make sure they understood the blocking schemes going into this week, and making sure we kind of broke it down a little bit slower on Monday and Tuesday, and just made sure everybody got a few more reps as to the running plays that we think we can be successful at this Friday, and just really breaking it down and slowing it down for them. So that way when things get going faster on Friday nights, hopefully they're just playing football instead of reacting.
And it is a big football game that we're chatting about now as you get set to take on number 1 ranked MMCRU. It's been a good rivalry the last few years, Coach, as they've continued to get better and better as a program, making some significant strides toward this season, in which they're now 5-0. What impresses you most? I know there's probably a lot of different things, but as you just watch film and you've dissected some of the things you do, you just look at it and say, man, this is just a really, really good football team.
Well, first off, offensively, they're very balanced. They're able to run the football. They're able to throw the football. They can throw it short. They can throw it deep. They can run it inside. They can run it outside. So extremely balanced. We're going to have our hands full defensively tonight. We've got to make sure that we're in the right spot, and then we're sure tacklers. As far as defense, I think that's probably the area they're most improved, is defensively. They're very good tacklers out in open space, and they're very physical at the point of attack. So they're just really, really, they play really, really hard in all facets of the game. So we're going to have to make sure that we match that intensity level right from the start.
Jeremy Schindler is once again the head coach of Gehlen Catholic football, getting ready to take on top-ranked MMCRU tonight here on KLEM. There's probably no player on the field that exemplifies that balance offensively more for the Royals than their quarterback in Eli Harpenaugh. 70% completion percentage, and some of the numbers there are great. He also runs the ball for nearly 7 yards a touch. Coach, what do you guys have to do to make sure you guys aren't letting him just kind of do what he wants with you from an offensive perspective?
I mean, first you have to stop the run, and that's not only the designed runs for him, but it's also his ability to scramble. So we have to make sure that we are disciplined in our rush lanes, and then if we are able to get to him, we got to make sure we bring him down. He's a big, strong kid, so we have to make sure we get many bodies to him to help bring him down. And then, in the coverage game, we just have to be sound in our coverages. We have to use the proper technique, again, that we've worked on all week. And then when that ball's in the air, go get it. Don't wait for the receiver to catch it. Just go get the football. Like Coach Owenzone says, you'll meet the receiver at the ball. So go get the ball before they do.
I think as I talk with coaches year in and year out and seeing matchups with mobile quarterbacks, the thing that worries them, and understandably the most, is that scrambling aspect that you talk about. What are the ways defensively that you can do to maybe, not take away the scrambling game, because he'll always try and look for it if nothing's downfield, but, limit his opportunities to scramble, whether it's how you contain the pocket, filling gaps. What are the things defensively you can do just to kind of make him think twice about tucking the ball and running and scrambling?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just being disciplined in your pass rush lanes. Your defensive ends, they got to rush to the back shoulder. Don't try cutting inside before that, and you have to make sure your defensive tackles get a good push. When defensive lines get at different levels, meaning their defensive ends are super deep in the backfield and the tackles are stalemated at the line of scrimmage, that creates holes in rushing lanes. So you have to rush as a unit and really collapse that pocket in on the quarterback.
Let's flip to the offensive side of the ball. You talked about how the defense is so much more improved for them from the last couple of years. You know, as we talked about earlier, the offensive success for you was few and far between, unfortunately, last week, but it was there. What are some things that you can do to, make sure you guys can maybe start with running the football more effectively against a very physical defense?
Yeah, I think we just tried to simplify things this week and just use, I think the strength of our team is our offensive line. And so allowing them to get off the ball and just play football was something that we wanted to do this week. So we have a few wrinkles in terms of blocking scheme-wise, just to try and let them be a little more aggressive at the point of attack, and then just get it to our ball carries. And I got to make sure I get Easton Spangler a few more touches. He's a big body. He's hard to bring down. So that's going to be an emphasis early on.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that as the game goes along. How about the passing game? I know that was a real big red flag for you guys last week with the turnovers and also just how tough it was to complete passes. What have you done this week in preparation for MMCRU to try and improve that aspect of your offense?
Yeah, that's probably actually what we spent the most time on this week was just getting the reps in for our quarterbacks and making sure that they understand what we're trying to accomplish in the passing game, trying to make the reads a little easier and quicker. It comes down to, we just got to make sure that we take care of the football, and a sack isn't the worst thing in the world. And so we got to make sure that we can't put the ball in harm's way, especially, if we want to stay in games.
We'll wrap up our conversation with this, Coach. The last number 1 ranked team in the regular season to come your way lost against you guys with Woodbury Central last year. I know the rankings are what they are. Some of them mean more than others. Some of them don't mean much more than the paper that they're written on. But in your experience, in playing number 1 teams, beating a number 1 team last year, what makes it happen for you guys, and what has to be done to if you guys are to pull off a big upset?
Yeah, we just have to go out there and play fast and play physical, play hard for 4 quarters and just let it fly. You got nothing to lose. You go out there. It's what we did last year when we took down Woodbury Central. We played extremely confident. I need to see that confidence, and it needs to start right from the get-go. You don't want to get behind on this team. You want to make the game, slow the game down, make it ugly, and give yourselves a chance going into the 4th quarter.
I'm looking forward to seeing if that takes place tonight. Coach, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck, and we'll catch up with you afterwards as well.
Sounds good. Thanks, Daniel.
Absolutely. He's Jeremy Schindler, head coach, Gehlen Catholic Football. We'll take a break, and our pregame coverage continues from Jim Lorenzen Field after this here on KLEM Radio.
A home is a safe place to be, a roof over your head, and 4 walls to keep out the heat and cold. It's a child's laughter, a mother's song, and a father's strength. It's where we go for comfort and to share joy. It's your first school and your first church. It's where memories are shared. Hi, this is Julie Hurt, your Century 21 ProLink real estate agent. Whatever a home means to you, I am here to help you find the home you are looking for. Call 540-7757 and let me, Julie Hurt, help you make a house your new home.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
We welcome you back to our Friday Night Football pregame show right here on KLEM Radio. Daniel Versteg with you, and now pleased to be joined by the head coach of the MMCRU football team, sitting at 5-0, and that is head coach Kyle Oswald, getting ready to take on Gehlen Catholic tonight at Jim Lorenzen Field in Lamars. Coach, first of all, it's been a great start to the year. You guys were just recently named the number 1 team in the state by the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Obviously, still very early on, but what are some of the thoughts that you have about the success you guys are having the last few weeks, and what can you pinpoint it to at this point?
Very proud of our guys to start with, and the focus that we have on what our goals are. While we're happy with what we've accomplished, we don't want this to be our mountaintop or even our plateau. We want to keep climbing, and we're dealing with injuries as most teams have to, and we're just praying and being fortunate that we're able to get some guys back, and hope that we can continue that trend going forward. And I don't know that I can pinpoint anything other than A, we've been able to be blessed with talent and the number of individuals that we have, and then B, the fact that we got some motivation going on, and I think our kids are doing things the right way as far as hopefully challenging each other. We've got some slip-ups every so often, but then that's our job as coaches to corral that and refunnel and try and point us in the right direction.
Well, and thankfully, the slip-ups that you have had have not super impacted outcomes of games yet for you guys. Coming off a shutout win against Sibley O'Cheaton, just briefly, what did you like about that game, and how were you able to take maybe some of the momentum that you guys have defensively after pitching a shutout into this week of practice and preparation for Gehlen?
Coach Mara does a phenomenal job with our defense and prepping them. And I want to give him a shout-out in the fact of that was our first shutout according to the season was concerned. But we've got we probably could have 3 more shutouts, but we put in our younger guys as well and against varsity squads. And I don't want to – that sounds arrogant to some degree, and I don't want it to be because we're gaining some experience for our younger guys and whatnot. And when other people throughout the state or even in the stands see that, they go, wow, it could have been another shutout. And it could have been. But we are trying to build a program here, and I give credit to our kids for understanding that. And they don't always love it, but they're willing. They're willing to let other guys get some experience on Friday nights too. And hopefully we continue to remember we've got an overall goal to go deep into the playoffs. And so we want to stay as healthy as we can with that. But our starting defense has been pretty stout, and thankful for that. And we're going to have to do some adjustments now as one of our leading linebackers and one of the heart and souls of the Energizer Bunny on our defense with Parker Glassmaker out for a while. Somebody's going to have to step up, and talent-wise, we can definitely do that. And energy-wise, Parker will be on the sidelines, but it's the mental thing of calling things out like he had done, which we are fully capable of doing. And it's just the next guy up. And again, fortunately for us, we're blessed with the opportunity to have the guys we do and the number of guys we do. And so, again, with Coach Mara's mind as far as that, I think he's going to have our kids well prepared.
I think so too, yeah, and like you said, so many great guys have stepped up for you. Again, MMCRU head coach Kyle Oswald is joining us on our pregame show. Let's dive into the matchup now with Gehlen Catholic after that little recap of the last couple of weeks. First of all, this matchup has always been very entertaining the last few seasons. Competitive games, some close games here and there. Tell me as you look at the film of this year's Gehlen team, what are some of the things that stand out as things that you guys have to be prepared for here when the ball kicks off tonight?
Their line on both sides, on offense and defense, it gets after it. They are studs as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter what the score is on the scoreboard. They are getting after it. They are going to be looking for opportunities to make pancake blocks or even make a big hit if the guy's wrapped up and whatnot. They don't quit. And honestly, that's a trait that I admire and one that I hope our guys not only emulate but do their best to go the next level above that the right way. I don't want any cheap shots or anything like that, but it's definitely something to be like, okay, guys, like these guys don't care. Just looking back at last week, I mean, their score on the scoreboard was 43-3, and they were still going like it was the first quarter 0-0. And that's something that, kudos to them for that effort and energy. And we have to not only match that, but we have to go then the next step above.
And it seems like that line play, at least on the offensive side, has led to a lot of success for them in the running game. That's kind of been the way they've had to move the football here early in the season. With, as you talked about earlier, Parker out, guys needing to step up in the linebacking core especially. What are some things you need to see from that group, maybe in particular, the guys in the box, to fight through some of those tough blocks to make sure that you guys can slow down their rushing attack a little bit more?
Well, the nice thing is nothing's changed as far as the guys who are doing it might change, but the mentality doesn't change. Is do your job, Don't try and do somebody else's job for them, because if you do, then you hang them out to dry. And so, again, Coach Mara does a phenomenal job of prepping and whatnot. So show up to practice, go all out, do everything you need to, and trust your teammates.
We're chatting with Kyle Oswald. He's the head coach of MMCRU football on our pregame shows. They get set to take on Gehlen Catholic tonight. If we can flip sides of the field, we'll continue with the line discussion there and what that defensive line for them brings to the table. How does that does that alter at all some of the game plans you have, or is it still kind of like, hey, we just need to give Eli time to throw, and we need to create holes for whoever's got the football when it comes to running things?
Well, the individual play calls may change a little bit, but it's kind of like defense. The overall idea doesn't change. As far as our linemen are concerned, I guess my message to them would be, we're not going to just be able to tap and go. We're going to have to maintain blocks. We're going to have to guarantee that we've got those front four handled before we go to the next level. Because if we just think everybody else has got them and leave them, they're going to wreck us in the backfield. And so that's something that our line is, I believe, up to the challenge on, but one they have to be aware of. But overall, it doesn't change that our mentality, right? We've got to do our job, do it well, and lift each other up when things aren't going so hot.
I know, just looking at kind of how things went for Gehlen's defense last week, they were pretty stout on the first two downs of a 4-down set, and forcing some of those 3rd and 8, 7s, 9s, some of those longer 3rd down situations. What's going to be the key to making sure you guys can stay ahead of schedule and stay on the pace that you need to be able to march the ball downfield and do what you want to do?
We need to be able to sustain drives. A lot of the games, I'm thinking of Sibley or even this last week with Woodbury Central, they had a lot of short fields. Sibley had a lot of short fields. Woodbury Central had a lot of short fields that Gehlen had to try and stand up against, and that's always tough when you put your defense in that kind of situation. So for us, I want to be able – I hope we have some short fields, but we can't bank on that. So when we have long fields, we have to make long drives. We can't bank on getting lucky. We've got to make our opportunities happen. And I think that we have the ability to do that. I mean, I have trust in Coach Ude as far as from an offensive standpoint. He's going to have an effective game plan. I already know he's wheeling and dealing things with the guys during practice and figuring out gaps that he is assuming will be there. And he does a great job of adjusting on the fly as well. So I'm very blessed with the coaching staff I have, the amount of time that they're putting into not just X's and O's, but putting into our kids.
We'll wrap up this conversation with this, Coach, if we could kind of put a bow on some of the overarching themes of the game. If you guys are to come out still undefeated, still with another victory in tow, what will be some of the key things that have to happen to make sure that outcome is a reality?
We just have to not lose focus of who we are. We can make some mistakes, and it's not the end of the world. We just have to pick each other up and keep moving, and keep that overall goal in mind of what we want to accomplish, and take it step by step.
Look forward to that happening for you guys. It should be a great game. Coach, thanks for your time. Appreciate your insight, and best of luck as you get ready for tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Absolutely. He is MMCRU head coach Kyle Oswald joining us on our pregame show. Back to kick this one off in just a moment here on KLEM.
This is Nathan Kolbeck, and you are listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back to Jim Lorenzen Field here in Lamar's. Time for kickoff in this Class A District 1 contest on KLEM Lamar's video on KLEM YouTube channel. And here we go. The Royals won the opening toss, elected to defer, and this high kick from Gage Johnson is fielded at the 25-yard line by Drake Knipe. He is run down by Wyatt Olish at the 30-yard line, and that's where Gehlen Catholic will start their first drive of this contest. And, well, the big key that I got from both coaches, Gabe, in the pregame, sustaining drives is going to be critical toward winning this football game.
Yeah, and I think it's even more critical for the team that is not the favored team. You know,
right.
They're the ones that are going to have to try to maintain some control. And really, when maybe you're a little overmatched, that's the only way you can is by holding on to the ball.
1st and 10 for Gehlen Catholic at their own 30-yard line. A power pistol look with a man behind Roberts and one to his right. The hand goes to Wyatt Coons, who was the tailback, and he runs inside the right hash. He's tripped up at the 34-yard line. A solid gain of 4 yards to get the night started. It's 2nd and 6.
Yeah, just a nice little ISO right up the middle and a quick hitter, and that's going to allow some things to happen. And
yep.
They've watched film, and they've seen that they've got 3 guys down, and so they're going to have some guys back, and they'll just have to keep picking away at, and little by little, you can take 3-4 yards. That's pretty good.
That 4 yards on first down, yeah, you'll take that 10 times out of 10. Here is 2nd down and 6 from the 34. 2 receivers left, one to the right. Helmet high snap from Roberts. He gives up the middle to Easton Spangler, and Spangler is drilled down at the 35-yard line. He picked up just a yard amongst a pile of white and blue jerseys. Gain of 1, it'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and that snap came back there, and maybe it was a little bit higher than was expected. And on those plays where everybody's so close, every little bit of timing matters, and it looked like the running back kind of had to stop his feet and then couldn't really get momentum going downhill. But you're still at 3rd and 5,
yep.
Very manageable.
Very manageable, and we'll see if the passing game becomes a little bit better. Coach Schindler mentioned in our pregame that that's something that he stressed a lot of importance on this week, especially after the struggles last week against Woodbury Central. 3rd and 5, 2-by-2 set. It's a low snap. Roberts screen pass left. That one's caught. Marshall Sievers outside the left numbers toward the MMCRU sideline, and he couldn't quite get any progress. He maybe got a yard past the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain, and it's 4th and 5. Jays line up to punt.
Yeah, just a little bubble out there. They ran just mirrored routes on both sides, so the inside receiver just took a little bubble route and couldn't quite find the opening that he wanted. Marshall's a good athlete, but no openings there.
Nope, nothing to be done. So 4th down and 4, and one thing the Royals probably have worked on here this week is the fact that Landon Knipe is a rugby kicker, so we'll see if he runs the ball a little bit more. And here's 4th and 4. He steps into one and gets a right-footed line drive knuckleball kick. This one fielded the 32-yard line and run toward the right numbers. Gage Johnson, and he gets eaten alive by the turf monster at the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down to the 41, and that is where MMCRU will start with their first drive here with 10:24 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's crazy how much that happens because I'm going to venture to guess that MMCRU practices on grass.
They do.
And now when you go to turf, it really does feel different, and your feet get caught up, and there's different things to it. So we might see a little bit more of that tonight than what we do with teams that play out here all the time.
1st down and 10 here for MMCRU at their own 41-yard line. Eli Harpino, who's been tearing up Northwest Iowa here the last few games, takes the shotgun snap and drops back to pass. Dumps off a little screen. It's deflected up in the air, and Dane Lehman might have it. He does. Lehman picks off the deflection. It was Drake Hodson who got his hand up to deflect the football, and the Jays forced the turnover on just the 3rd INT the Royals have forced.
And that's the type of stuff that you need. That's the type of stuff that'll get you momentum, make you feel confident, and look what it does to the field position. Even if you get nothing out of this, which obviously you want to, but even if you don't get anything out of this, you probably have 4 downs, because you would have. This is where you punted it to anyway, so you're in good shape.
Yeah, that is a huge momentum swing, and for Gehlen Catholic, after how last week went against Woodbury Central, it's good to see for them one of those turnovers go their way. 2 receivers either side of Roberts in the pistol on 1st and 10 of the Royal 38. Hand goes up the middle. Wyatt Coons breaks free in between the hashes across the 30, and he's drilled down for a 1st down to the 26 by Brandon Dreckman. It's a 12-yard gain and a 1st down for the Jays.
And again, quick hitter right up the middle, not wasting any time going right and left. I don't think you're going to beat this team the way they're spread out that way. You're going to have to beat them right up the middle and then take your shots on the outside, but really try to go straight at them and see if they adjust.
Boy, what an opportunity. It was kind of a fluky play with the Drake Hodson deflection right point blank in the face of Eli Harpino on a screen pass, no less. But they were able to make the play. Lehman was in the right place at the right time. And now 1st and 10 for Gehlen at the Royal 26-yard line. 2 receivers left, one to the right of Jack Roberts in the pistol. And he takes the snap, gives left, and Wyatt Coons slips down behind the line of scrimmage. He loses a yard to the 27. Some late blocks finished after the play. But a loss of a yard makes it 2nd and 11.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was going on there. I don't know if anything was really happening. One of those situations where you're trying to get a couple more yards, and Dane did his best job of maybe a little theatrical production, trying to gain one, but
hey, why not, right?
Didn't take the bait.
2nd down and 11, and it could have been one of those slow motion train wrecks too.
Oh, yeah.
That could have been part of it as well.
Either way, it'll be a laugh at films.
Absolutely. Well, of course, depending on the outcome of this drive, potentially. 2nd and 11 here at the Royal 27-yard line. Roberts the snap. He gives up the middle. Coons, he knifes his way through some defenders in between the seams, and he's brought down to the 22-yard line. Stood up a forward progress. The Royals finish the hit after a pickup of 5. It's 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and good sliding through there, getting back to, gaining back that yardage that you didn't really gain but didn't really lose on 1st down. So it gives you a little bit more to work there, and he kind of he finds his way through there, and he's not a real big back, but he does it well enough, and now you're eating up the clock. They've had the ball for one play. That slows down an offense. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Well, Coach Schindler mentioned last week that the best defense can be the offense. I'm sure he would have said the same thing if the topic came up in our pregame show. 3rd down and 6 from the 22-yard line. 2 receivers either side of Roberts. He takes a snap, play action, bootleg to his right. He's got room to run. Right numbers, and he gets tripped up. Oh, what a great play from Brayson Mulder, who's back for his first game back from injury after a few weeks gone. It's a pickup of 2 to the 20, and the Jays will bring out the field goal team.
Yeah, it took a good angle there, and I was wondering if we had a field goal kicker and what type of action we'd see there.
Well, the Jays have been kind of cycling through a few field goal kickers. Alexander Munoz started. It was Parker Cave then for a little while. Now Kyler Van Voorst has come on and done an outstanding job, but this will be a 37-yarder on the right hash. Wyatt Coons will be the holder. It's going to be a tough kick. The snap is high. He gets it down. Right-footed boot does not have the leg, and it is wide left, no good. Not a bad attempt, but Kyler Van Voorst's 37-yard field goal is no good. So the Jays get an opportunity to score, but with 7:33 left in the first, we remain knotted up between Gehlen Catholic and top-ranked MMCRU.
Yeah, and unlike, we talked about the rules with high school, college, and the NFL and how they differ. This is one of those things that differs in high school. That goes, as long as it gets to the goal line, it goes back to the 20 like it would have a touchback for a punt. So that is going to be a little bit different. So really you're sitting there going, we weren't comfortable going on 4th and 5 or 6. So it's a chance to score on a punt, for lack of better words.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. So here's 1st and 10 for the Royals after their first play ended in an interception. Low snap, Harpin on play action, throws a screen pass right, caught on the numbers 20 to the 25-30, and here's Gage Johnson breaking free, up the left seam across midfield, 45-40. There's no green jerseys between him and the goal line, and Johnson houses it to the end zone for a Royal touchdown. There are no flags on the play. It's an 80-yard screen pass for 6. And the Royals jump out early, 6-0 here with 7:18 left in the first.
And speed kills in a situation like that. And it's not only when he caught the ball, but if you watched pre-snap, and if we were one of those ESPN high-quality productions where we could go back and talk about some things, you would see the defensive backs, they're worried about his speed off the line, getting the ball thrown over their heads because he can throw it. So they played back, and that just allowed him more space to move around and make some moves. So that's which one do you want to give up a little bit of? And when you do that, you have to make sure you rally and tackle, and just couldn't get it done.
And now Gage Johnson, who just ran those 80 yards for a touchdown, will catch his breath to line up for the point after try. And the Camden Bork will be the holder. Snap and spot are good. Right-footed boot is through the uprights. And it is, oh boy.
It looked like it might have been a little far on that
just
side.
A little right. Okay, well, that looked pretty good to me. But nevertheless, it's a missed PAT. And your score is 6-0 MMCRU. 7:18 left in the first. We'll take a break and be back with more high school football action here on KLEM.
Peace Pizza House is your destination before and after the game. Whether you need to feed the whole family or just looking to get out before the game, make sure to stop at Peace Pizza House. You'll find many appetizers, burgers, salads, pasta, and of course, Peace Pizza House outstanding pizza selections. Your entire family is sure to find something they're looking for. Peace Pizza House would like to wish our local teams the best of luck this season.
This is Kane Kearns, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back to Jim Lorenzen Field here in Lamar's alongside Gabe Davis. Daniel Versteg with you. What a swing for MMCRU as their first play of the night turned into an interception from Dane Lehman. Their second play of the night goes 80 yards for 6. And an Eli Harpinot touchdown pass to Gage Johnson makes it 6-0 MMCRU here with 7:18 left to go in quarter number 1. As MMCRU readies themselves for the kickoff, Jays will get the football back. We'll see what kind of field position they'll have here on their third possession of the night. It's a line drive, end over end boot, and this one's fielded at the 13-yard line and run out by Wyatt Coons. Left seam 25-30, sidesteps a tackler, and then goes down to the 31, but a penalty flag will come in from behind the play as Wyatt Coons gets a decent return, but this will be coming back.
Yeah, it looked like there's going to be a hold, and unfortunately, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt when you take a guy to the ground. It just doesn't happen, so probably coming back. We'll wait to see what Renzi says here.
Yeah, Marcus Renz is our white hat. It is going to be a block in the back against Gehlen Catholic. A 10-yard penalty will negate that good return, and Gehlen will start inside their red zone, probably about the 19-yard yard line or so. So the Royals again lead this contest 6-0 early over Gehlen Catholic in a Class A District 1 football game. The Jays are looking to try and knock off the number 1 team in the state, much like they did last year when Woodbury Central came to town. 7:09 to go in this first quarter. It is 6-0 Royals, and Gehlen has the football. Snap to Roberts. He gives to Spangler, trying to muscle his way through a pile. Gets stood up at the 22 and goes down awkwardly there. It is a pickup of 2 yards for Easton Spangler. Makes it 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that was an awkward. He was fighting for yards, and someone kind of fell into his knee awkwardly, and that always makes me a little nervous when that happens. Glad he got back up.
And I'm sure for a certain other Spangler, Mr. Aiden Spangler, who dealt with some knee injuries and leg injuries during his time in high school, I'm sure watching his little brother run the football a little bit makes him kind of get some flashbacks there as well. But Easton looks to be all right. And so we'll continue on. Spangler is the fullback, left hip of Jack Roberts, the tailback Wyatt Coons, and that power pistol look. 2 receivers left and 1 to the right on 2nd and 8 at the 22. Snap to Roberts, gives up the middle. Coons breaks a tackle, gets to the right seam, sidesteps it under 30, breaks another tackle, 35. He's in a foot race across midfield to the 40 and dragged down from behind in MMCRU territory. He's at the 33-yard line. A great run there for Wyatt Coons, and it goes for 45 yards and a Gehlen Catholic first down.
And they're really winning up front, and you look at the guys that are up there for MMCRU, and you have to question a little bit because they're big guys. But you know what? Galen's winning at the point of attack, and Wyatt's been he's going to have a great first quarter anyways. Right. I mean, he's doing a great job, and I feel like every time I show up, one of these guys from Gehlen, I don't get to watch them much, but every time they have some running back that's little, quick, and gets through the line before you know it.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what year it is. They've got somebody that can move the football for them on the ground. Wyatt's no different. Here's 1st and 10 for Gehlen to the MMCRU 33. Snap to Roberts, a play fake and a busted play. He's sacked from behind. Roberts gets dragged down by Eli Schlenger, the outside linebacker, back to the 39. It's a loss of 6, so it'll be 2nd and 16.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was a decision made by the quarterback that he decided late because he had the ball out there for Wyatt and then pulled it back to try to throw over his head. It looked like he was looking out towards Drake Knipe and just too much going on, and the good news is he held on to the ball because that's a lot of times where you lose that.
Yeah, blindside hits are very dangerous. 5:15 to go in the first quarter, 6-0 MMCRU. The Royals line up in their 3-man front on 2nd and 16. Snap to Roberts, gives up the middle. Coons had nowhere to go, and the Royals are starting to sniff out the run. The hit made by Braden Dunn. Looks like Ben Tenninger was in there on the stop as well. That'll be a loss of 2 back to the 41 to make it 3rd and 18.
Yeah, and they're just loading up the box, and they're just going to say you're going to have to pass the ball. And I know Coach talked about that in the pregame also, and you talked to him about it, but they're going to have to find a way to push the ball at least through the pass. It doesn't have to be way downfield, but enough to loosen them up because right now they're just loading up the box.
Yeah, you got to spread out, relieve the pressure just a bit. And, yeah, unfortunately, they didn't do that against Woodbury Central. Only 1 completion, 4 interceptions last week. 3rd and 18, and Roberts a deep drop, sets up a screen. The pass thrown wide of Wyatt Coons falls incomplete. Eli Schlenger was there, so was John Schmellen. Either way, it's an incomplete pass. 4th down and 18 for the Jays.
Yeah, the middle of the field is wide open. If you can get any type of action, the safety looks like he's accounting for. They must be going on a cover 4 type set, but the middle is open. If you can get anybody crossing it in anything, you might be able to have a chance because there's no linebackers there either. They're coming up.
MMCRU leads 6-0, and they're going to get the football back. We'll see if Landon Knipe can maybe help the Jays field position just a little bit and try and pin the Royals deep. You got Gage Johnson and Wyatt Olish back there to return. It's a high snap. Knipe leaps to retrieve it, gets it away, and the right-footed kick just barely by Eli Schlinger, bounces at the MMCRU 25 and rolls out of bounds inside the 20-yard line at about, we'll say, the 18-yard line. So that is a punt of 23 yards, and MMCRU will start inside their own red zone. But as we saw in the last drive, field position didn't really matter when you score an 80-yard play.
No, yeah, when it's one and done, there's a whole lot of not a whole lot to think about. So we'll see how Gehlen adjusts to it. Last time they gave the receivers a lot of cushion, which made it tougher to tackle. And we'll see if they try to take some of the air out of that and see how they adjust this drive.
By the way, that 80-yard touchdown Gage Johnson scored, that was the longest touchdown the Royals have scored this season, and they have certainly scored a decent amount of touchdowns here this year. They're 25th of the season on offense. Here's the low snap, and the give goes up the middle. This run is fielded there by John Schmellen. He's outside the left hash to the 26-yard line. A great gain on first down, picks up 8, and that'll set up 2nd and 2.
Yeah, and just, again, that's a little bit of what Gehlen has been doing, just kind of a quick hitter right up the middle, ISO-type play, and not a whole lot of – you don't need to be creative. You just kind of get it up there. And now Gehlen has to choose. They've gotten beat on the outside, and now they just gave up 8 on the inside. You're going to have to find a way to control one of them a little bit more.
Worth noting, Brayson Mulder is now the tailback back there. We talked about his injury that he sustained earlier in the season and has missed the last 3 games for the Royals, Snap back to Harpin, a 3-step drop. He looks to pass. Pressure's there. He steps away from it nicely, shoulders another tackle, and then goes down for a loss anyway. The Jays finally get to him as Mason Small and Easton Spangler that bring him down. A loss of 2 makes it 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and that's one where they look to get vertical. I look for him to come back to something shorter and try to get guys with the ball in their hands and then make the run that way. Rather than trying to throw the ball downfield, you just throw it a few yards and then let your athletes win.
MMCRU leads Gehlen Catholic 6-0. The Royals are the #1 team in the state per the first rankings from the Iowa High School Athletic Association here with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. On 3rd and 4 from the 24. Harpin on the snap. He turns right, and he gives to Mulder. Straight up the middle, and he's back in better than ever. Right seam 40, tackled to the 45-yard line. Brayson Mulder with a big gain up to the 46. A penalty flag comes after the play. It is a 22-yard run for Mulder for a first down, but we'll see if they actually will get the ball at the 46.
I think they're going to get 15 more. I think they were talking to Mr. Spangler there. He must have said a magic word.
Now, that is tough for the Jays. You're already giving up big plays, and then you add more on a penalty. Dead ball after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct is against Gehlen Catholic. So a tough break there for the Jays. Add 15 yards to the 22-yard gainer for Brayson Mulder. And MMCRU will be deep into Gehlen Catholic territory at about the 39-yard line.
Yeah, that's a little salt in the wound there, and you just, unfortunately, emotions get the best of you, and sometimes things are said that should have just been thought, and that's how it goes. But you learn your lesson and you get better.
My wife would tell me I say too many of those things that should be thought, so I can relate very well.
Well, you're on the mic a lot. You must not say it too much.
No, that's when I can keep it under control. 6-0 MMCRU, and it's 1st and 10 of the 39. Harpinoff gives around the right side. Mulder runs off tackle right numbers to the 35, and he's tackled near the line to gain at about the 30. And they'll say right at the 30. It's a pickup of 9, so it's 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and now it's just this is tough. They've got big backs, they've got big linemen, and then obviously athletic skill positions. And your quarterback is big and strong, can throw the ball a mile, and he can run. So that you can see why they're #1 rated in the state.
And then why they're 5-0. All the experience, too. I mean, they got really the buildings of a perfect football team. 2nd down and 1 here for the Royals at the Gehlen 30-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right, and a tight end right of the pistol set of Harpinoy. He claps his hands, takes the snap, play action, bootlegs to his left. He's looking to throw toward the left numbers and throws wide of Gage Johnson.
And that's going to be a 15-yarder.
And an incomplete pass. Yeah, there was a little extracurriculars after the play.
Yep.
And MMCRU will get dinged for this one. I think that's Mason Hill.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah, so the incomplete pass would make it 3rd and 1, but this one's coming back a lot more than that.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3rd and 16.
3rd and 16 when all's said and done, yeah.
And it's the same situation, and this is what you get when you have these, separated by a few miles. These guys know each other, and they probably are cordial but they don't necessarily love hanging out together. Right. You know, they're battling right there. They're competing. And, you know, Dane, I gave him a hard time for maybe being a little theatrical earlier. That one he did not. He got absolutely hit way after the play.
The Jays certainly earned the 15 yards that they have gained in field position there. So it's 3rd down and 16, a minute 56 to go in the first quarter. And MMCRU, number 1 in the state, leads Gehlen Catholic 6-0. Here's 3rd down and 16. Pistol set for Eli Harpin, 2 receivers left and 1 to his right with a tight end right side of the formation. Oh, the Jays jumped into the neutral zone with a hard count. And so the Royals will get 5 yards back on a neutral zone infraction to make it 3rd and 11. Unfortunately, that has been a bit of a bugaboo sometimes for Gehlen Catholic, is that they'll give 5 yards back at a time on some penalties that are probably aiding Jeremy Schindler's gray hair growth over there down on the sideline.
Yeah, that happens to the best of us in the coaching world. It either goes gray or you lose it. You don't really have a choice.
Hey, you picked the latter. So.
Yeah, I did.
3rd and 11 here at the 40-yard line of Gehlen. Big down here for the Royals, trying to keep the drive alive. 3-step drop for Harpinoff. The pistol snap. He rolls to his left. He's being chased toward the sideline. Now he stops on the left numbers. He throws it up. A jump ball over the middle. It is caught. Camden Bork beat the defender at the 20, and he's tackled down at the left seam at the 14-yard line. 26-yard completion to Camden Bork, and a big first down for the Royals.
We got the QB down a little bit back here. Getting up a little slower. He did get hit right as he released it. There's some hitting going on out there, and I know some Gehlen fans feel like there was maybe a little blindside block, but unfortunately it was on the front side, and he wasn't totally turned. But we've seen it when guys play together long enough, they just can make those plays, and they scramble around, and we call it backyard football because that's what it turns into be.
Well, and Camden Bork was the quarterback for 2 games last year before getting hurt against Gehlen Catholic. And now it's 1st down and 10 here for the Royals at the Gehlen 14-yard line. Low snap. Harpinoff picks it off the turf. Throws another deflected ball off of Gage Johnson, nearly intercepted by Wyatt Coons, but it falls to the ground incomplete. 2nd and 10. The Royals lucky to keep possession.
Yeah, if Wyatt could have got that, he might not have been touched on that sideline. I know he's run a lot already, but he would have had a running start right by Bork, and I don't know who would have caught him there, but then it goes back to the snap. And the timing was off, and everything was a little goofy, and that's why those types of things happen.
So 2nd down and 10 for MMCRU. Minute 21 to go in the first quarter. And the Royals lead the Jays 6-0. Here's MMCRU on the left hash, and the pistol set is Eli Harpinoff. 2 receivers right. He turns left, gives to Mulder. Straight ahead, diving across the line of scrimmage. He did get ankle tackled into his dive. Grant Arns on the hit. A pickup of 2 to the 12. It's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Grant Arns came flying in there from his linebacker defensive back position, and he came flying in there and made the play and kind of forced a torpedo out of the running back just diving forward.
Yeah, he's kind of one of those safeties that'll creep up into the box every now and then and make some plays for the Jays, and he's certainly made one there. Now 3rd down, and we'll say 9 for MMCRU at the Gehlen 13-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, and a tight end left side of Eli Harpin on the pistol. Jays got to force a 4th down here. They motion the slot receiver, Gage Johnson right to left. Pick the jet sweep. Harpin keeps on the option, and he tripped up. He is tripped up on the turf at the 10-yard line. Pickup of 3 makes it 4th and 6.
Great job by Dane Lehman. He had to force something, and he was caught in the middle, and he turned just enough to make the quarterback hang on to that, and that's where your help's at. If that gets to the pitch, I think he scores. But because Dane was upfield enough and had that left arm, that's going to take his quarter, but had that left arm there to bat it away, he couldn't go.
Well, the Royals will use the quarter break to help aid in their decision on an upcoming 4th down and 6 at the Gehlen Catholic 10-yard line. We will have 1 quarter in the books. And your score, top-ranked MMCRU 6, Gehlen Catholic nothing. See what the Royals do on a big 4th down coming up to start quarter number 2. We're coming back after this here on KLEM.
Certified Public Accountants Cruz & Cruz extend their support to all the athletes and remind everyone, in the spirit of sports, participation is more important than winning. Cruz & Cruz Accounting, proud to be a sponsor of KLEM Sports.
Today's banking is about so much more than numbers. It's about people. It's about community. It's about the next generation. Banking is personal. That's what we believe. And that's why we'll always put you first. Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on.
Gehlen Catholic School, excellence in education, leadership through Christ. For information, check their website at GehlenCatholic.org.
This is Jack Roberts, and you are listening to Jay's Football on KLEM.
And we're about to be back to Jim Lorenzen Field in Lamar. Start of quarter number 2 with top-ranked MMCRU leading Gehlen Catholic 6-0. The Royals face a pretty pivotal 4th down and 6. They're at the Gehlen Catholic 10-yard line. The Royals do have a little bit of a kicking game. Gage Johnson is 1 of 2 on field goals and actually made a school record 37-yarder earlier this year. But with it being still 6-0 here to start the second quarter, I'm sure the Royals want to capitalize as much as possible. And the offense is on the field here on 4th down and 6 at the Gehlen Catholic 10-yard line. A crucial play for the Gehlen defense. 2 receivers, right, 1 left. Eli Harpenaugh in the pistol. Tries a hard count. The Jays flinch but don't budge. Rolling right. Harpenaugh's blitzed out of the pocket to his right. Throws on the run. A jump ball. That ball is caught by 2 players.
But they marked it.
It is an interception and a first down for Gehlen Catholic. Landon Knipe ripped it away from Camden Bork. And the Jays have forced their second turnover of the evening.
Yeah, and that was interesting. You didn't know where it was caught, where it was possessed, because it was right on the down marker too.
Yep.
I think he had to get to the 4 for a first down. If they give it to him there. If they don't, even if they would have given it to Remsen, it wouldn't have mattered because he didn't get it. But interesting play. But now you have 95 yards, but you kept him out of the end zone. So now you've answered that big score, and now you have to do something with it on your end.
Eli Harpenaugh has come into tonight with just 2 interceptions all season. He's now thrown 2 in this first half, and we still got most of the vast majority of the second quarter to go. But Gehlen's got the football at their own 5, down 6-0. And here's Jack Roberts in the power pistol. He takes a helmet high snap. He gives right. Wyatt Coons trying to give the Jays some breathing room, and he dives forward for just a yard to the 6. Gets a little breathing room, but it's still 2nd down and 9.
Yep, 2nd and 9, and they're going to force you to do something. And this is not the area where you necessarily want to. But you also have to remember the last time you punted, they were almost on top of Mr. Knipe. So it's kind of a scary little spot here. You're trying to use your clock and find the play that's going to get you some breathing. 1 first down is huge right here.
Yes. Yeah, you limit the possibility of a bad snap turning into a safety by getting out of the end zone a little bit. We'll see what happens here on 2nd and 9. Roberts in the pistol once again. He takes a snap, turns right, gives to Coons, tries to punch his way through the line, and he does get a couple more yards, a little bit more breathing room to the 8, but still a big 3rd down. It's 3rd and 7 upcoming.
Yeah, and I think you have to go something safe here, probably some sort of screen or misdirection of some sort, maybe a rollout, but because you are far enough away. You always hate to play action rollout to something naked and then you're standing in the end zone and you're really in trouble. So you have a little bit more space to run something like that and stay out of the end zone.
Big play on 3rd down and 7 from the 8-yard line. Jays trail MMCRU just 6-0. 10.5 to play before halftime. And here is Roberts in the shotgun. 2 on either side. The Royals line up the blitz. They only bring 4. Roberts drops to throw. Airs it out right sideline into double coverage. It's underthrown and intercepted. The Royals get a takeaway of their own. It's Michael Schmell in the safety with his 4th INT of the year. And the Royals go turnover for turnover. They'll start at the Gehlen 44.
And that's a punt.
Yep.
You know, I mean, really, and that's kind of probably what coach is thinking. We're going to try to take a shot here if we can get it. But there was 2 guys right on there, and now the defense is going to have to answer the bell again on a short field. But really, that's probably a punt in most situations. It just happened to be an arm punt on 3rd down.
The world-famous arm punt that ends up giving Gehlen Catholic about 36 yards of field position. So, yeah, basically is as good as some punts. 1st and 10 here for MMCRU at the Gehlen 44. 2 receivers either side of Harpenaugh in the pistol. And with the back there, he drops back to pass. Pump fakes, rolls to his left. Mason Small chases him up the sideline. He gets around him around the corner, and he is out of bounds with some positive yardage. They will spot him back to the 39-yard line. A gain of 5. It's 2nd and 5.
Yeah, the defensive ends are making it very tough. He's looking for some quick ones, and Hodson and Small and Lehman, they're getting those hands up, and so he's having to bring it back down, and he's not real comfortable throwing it. The one throw that he did make, I don't even know if he threw it past the line of scrimmage, right. And so they're making it tough on him.
Second down and 5 here for MMCRU. The Royals did get into the red zone just a few plays ago, but did not score after throwing an interception. Second and 5 from the Gehlen 39-yard line. 3 receivers right and under the left. Harpinaugh turns left. He gives to John Schmillen. Bull rushing his way through the pile. He's near the line to gain of the 34. He's got the line to gain, but there's a penalty flag afterwards as well. Oh, boy, another penalty flag coming after the play. I want to say this is probably our 3rd or 4th of the game already. As of right now, the Royals have a first down to the 34, but we'll see what this penalty flag is. And it is another personal foul, a face mask against Gehlen Catholic. So that was during the play. It is a 5-yard gain there for Schmillen, but you tack on the 15-yard, there was a personal foul.
Big dog.
Yep, there was. So 15-yard face mask, and the Royals will get to the red zone at the 19-yard line of Gehlen.
Well, and maybe you're able to bounce back. Again, last time it was a penalty that got him down in this area. Maybe you can bounce back and make something happen here.
9:57 to go in the first half. MMCRU leads Gehlen 6-0, and here are the Royals on 1st and 10 of the Gehlen 19. 3 receivers right, none to the left. Snap to Harpinaugh. Quick drop, throws a screen right. It's caught by Bork. He gets around the defender, gets a block right numbers, 15-10, and he's tackled low and out of bounds by Drake Knipe at the 7-yard line. He picks up 12 yards. It'll be 1st and goal for the Royals.
Yep, and that's that same exact play that they scored on, except it was a 3 receiver instead of 2 receiver, but they like getting it into their playmakers' hands and just letting them make a play, and he was being followed, just hounded by Wyatt, but just couldn't quite get his hands on him.
He got turned around him, just kind of made that little loop around him, and he was able to just foot race him down the sideline. So it is 1st down and goal. MMCRU failed to score down inside the 10-yard line on their last drive. Let's see what they got in store here with 9:15 to go in the quarter. And in the half, 2 receivers either side of Harpinaugh in the pistol, and he takes a low snap. He needs a quarterback draw, running off the left tackle, left side, stringing it out toward the pylon. Foot race over there, and he wins the race for a Royal touchdown. Eli Harpinaugh's 6th rushing touchdown of the year, and MMCRU goes up 2 scores. It's 12-0 Royals.
Yeah, every time you thought he was going to get tackled, it seemed like there was another Royal that kind of jumped in the way to get just enough of a block in order to spring him to the outside. So they are going to try to kick it again. I was wondering if they might go for it after missing the first one, but they're going to try to kick it again.
Yeah, Gage Johnson, he had a pretty good boot, but just was a little inaccurate on his PAT attempt. Just his 4th missed PAT earlier on in the night. And so they will attempt to try and get that PAT system to go better this time. 9:02 left to go before halftime. 12-0 MMCRU. Snap to Bork. The spot is down. Right-footed kick. Tails left, but it is through the uprights, and it is good. MMCRU leads Gehlen Catholic 13-0 in Class A District 1 action. We'll take a break, and Gehlen will get the football coming up next from Jim Lorenzen Field. You're listening to high school football on KLEM.
Hey sports fans, this is Perry from the Ace Hardware downtown Lamar's. Maintain your home and yard with advice and products from Ace. We'll help you get it done more efficiently so you have time to go to the next game. Ace Hardware, Lamar's.
Score big with the Sitzman Real Estate Team. Hometown realtors Shane, Peggy, Lance, and Patty are cheering the Lamar's Bulldogs and Gehlen Jays on to a victory. Buying or selling, call the Sitzman Real Estate Team today at 546-7881.
For all of your commercial or residential concrete or construction needs, JMax Construction is ready for you. At JMax Construction, you can be sure that your project will be handled with great customer service as well as the best of class construction and concrete work. Call JMax Construction and Concrete today at 540-0574.
This is Drake Hodson, and you are listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back to Jim Lorenzen Field here in Lamar's alongside Gabe Davis. Daniel Versteg with you. Your score with 9:02 left to play in the first half. It is MMCRU 13, Gehlen Catholic nothing. The Royals getting a 7-yard touchdown from Eli Harpinaugh, and that has given them a 2-possession advantage here in Class A District 1 as the Royals look to improve and stay undefeated. Here's a high right-footed end-over-end kick, and Wyatt Coons fields it with a basket catch of the 12. He runs it out toward the right hash, cuts it back to the 25, and runs in between the hashes down at the 29-yard line. And this time, no penalty flags on that kick return. We've had a few of those both ways. And with 8:53 to go in the half, the Jays get the football back. We've seen blips of good things from the Jays. but it's not been, unfortunately, enough to sustain a drive long term.
Yeah, and I think that goes just to maybe some inexperience. Last year you had Cole at quarterback, and it's to take nothing away from the team that's out there right now because they're doing everything they can, but he had that experience, and he had the ability to make things right, whether it was a block, whether, Coach would probably say he didn't call a perfect game. Maybe it was a call. But just need to string some things together and build some confidence.
1st and 10 of the 29. Roberts the snap. He gives up the middle, and this is Wyatt Coons again. The Royals have that one gummed up at the 31-yard line. A pickup of 2 for Wyatt Coons makes it 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and he's running a big back type of play, where you think big backs of like the Derrick Henrys, and they get through the middle, and that's not him. But he's doing a great job getting what he can. But unfortunately, you look at some of these guys in the blue and white, and they're just significantly bigger, and it doesn't take much to get a hand on him and pull him down. That's why it was so effective earlier, because he was sneaking through there, but now they've kind of packed it in, and he's not able to find those creases.
Which is even more impressive because the Royals are running a 3-4, and it's really tough to defend the run, but they bring some pressure with the outside linebacker. Screen pass goes right along the numbers across the 31. He gets to the 34-yard line. That's Marshall Sievers on the catch for 3 yards. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Marshall has a couple of those right now, and I think before too long they're gonna show that and then maybe run a slant on the backside of it, because he is bringing the safety or outside linebacker with him, and that's who's making that tackle. So if you can get the outside guy to kind of fake the block and then come inside, maybe you'll be able to get something there.
8:04 left to play before halftime. MMCRU up 13-0, and the Jays have to find a way to stay on the field. Play clock's down to 10 as they break the huddle and now hustle to the line of scrimmage. It is a shotgun set for Roberts. Tight end right, 3 receivers left, and here's the snap. Pump fake. He's rolling left, being chased. Gets away from the diving tackle. Sidesteps another tackle and is crunched by 2 Royals at the 35-yard line. A gain of 1 will make it 4th and 3. And the Jays are going to bring the punt team out, I think, once again. Or, well, maybe not. Well, we'll see. No,
yep.
They are going to bring the punt team out.
Yeah, he's getting stretched, I think.
It's probably too early for the Jays to start thinking about a little bit of an aggressive go for it on 4th down.
Well, and the thing is, if you get aggressive here and it goes sideways, you're in a hole.
Yeah.
And you're, because they will be in good shape.
13-0 MMCRU, 7:20 to go in the first half. Landon Knipe will line up for the punt as the Royals send 2 men deep to return. Knipe runs to his right, and he gets a high right-footed end-over-end kick with a lot of backspin on it. This one fielded at the 38 by Gage Johnson. Runs it up left seam. He's broken a tackle across the 45, and he's tackled across midfield to the Gehlen Catholic 49-yard line. Not a bad return, and it gives MMCRU 1st down and 10 in enemy territory.
Yeah, I think Drake Knipe thought that he had fair caught it because he was kind of just standing level with him around him and didn't really close the gap. And I think he kind of thought, well, he probably fair caught it because it was a very high punt, but he didn't feel the pressure, and he ended up getting about another 10, 12 yards out of that.
Yeah, that was a 13-yard return there for Johnson, and the punt only nets Gehlen 14 yards. So 1st down and 10 here for MMCRU. Ball's at the Gehlen 49-yard line. 2 receivers right and a tight end left of Eli Harpinaugh in the pistol. The Jays stack the box, and they bring a man in motion. A play-action fake. Harpinaugh throws over the middle, and another deflected football out of the hands of Michael Schmellen and incomplete. Good defense out there from Landon Knipe. Makes it 2nd and 10.
And that's that I'll call it weird because I don't know how else to describe it. It's a slow tunnel screen, and there's nobody blocking.
Right.
I mean, there was 3 Gehlen Jays over here, and one guy just running lateral, and it just didn't make sense. But he was right there, and he probably gains 8 to 10 yards if he catches it. But it just went through his hands. It's a weird play design that has become more effective. I know Wes Sioux runs the heck out of that type of stuff.
Yeah, they love that play, don't they? 2nd down and 10 here for MMCRU at the Gehlen 49. Low snap. Harpinaugh takes it. Hands left. It's Mulder right outside the left seam to the 43-yard line. It is a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 4.
And right now, if you're Gehlen, you really need a stop. You need to get this stop and then find a way to get the offense moving a little bit and before half, because if I remember correctly, Remsen will get the ball at half. So the last thing you want is a score, no score by you, and then another score by them, because then or they get the ball back. be a pretty big hole to climb out of.
Yeah, you're already looking at a 3-possession deficit. Situation like that could be 4 possessions already. 3rd down and 4. Big 3rd down here for the Royals at the Gehlen 43-yard line. Snap to Harpenau. He turns left and he gives. It's Mulder right side. The Jays have him stopped. Good pursuit on the run play, and Mulder's brought down for a loss. Looked like Dane Lehman was the first to greet him. Behind the line of scrimmage, 4th and 5, and the Royals are forced to go 3 and out.
Yeah, I think you had Dane and Drake both in there making some plays, and on the card here it has them as a 3-man front, but really tonight they've been lined up more as a 4-man front, so they've got some extra big bodies in there trying to make things happen, and you got to watch everything right here out of a team that is in good shape. They're up 2 scores. They're over the 50-yard line. They don't really have a whole lot to lose, even if this goes sideways.
And they took their time coming out of the huddle, so the play clock is down to 2, down to 1, and the snap
he wasn't set.
Does get off in time. They blow the whistle, and a penalty flag is thrown because the Royals were not set.
Yeah, that was Smellin, I believe. Number 7 was running back on the field there. He had gone off the field and then came back on, and I think that's kind of why they were waiting in a huddle like, hey, bud, we got to have 11. Like Wes was trying to play with 10 last night. You remember that?
Well, yeah. They had to burn 2 timeouts right in a row to do that. So it'll be 4th and 10. I also wondered if MMCRU might just take the delay a game, give themselves a little room to punt this one inside the 10, but ends up working out anyway that they'll get 5 yards, maybe a little bit more breathing room for the punt. This punt will come from Wyatt Olish, and Wyatt Kuntz is back deep to return. Here's a snap to Olish. He gets it away. A right-footed, a good spiral on the punt, and Kuntz fields at the 17-yard line. He runs it out toward the right numbers, angling there to the 20. He's outside the numbers and toward the sideline about the 23-yard line. And Wyatt Kuntz is out at the 24. So that is where Gehlen will start their drive. And right now the field position battle is thoroughly in MMCRU's favor. This ball has been on Galen's end of the field just about exclusively here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, but if you're the Gehlen Jays, you got what you needed. You got that stop. And, you know, any type of score, a score that takes about 5 minutes and 8 seconds would be beautiful. But any type of score would be exactly what you need here going into halftime.
Well, sometimes you just need points.
Yeah,
if it's a field goal,
just see it go across the line.
1st down and 10 here for Gehlen at their own 24-yard line as Jack Roberts lines up the team in the pistol. 2 receivers either side, bunched on either side, and a hand goes up the middle. And that is for Wyatt Kuntz once again as he punches his way to the 26. Gains 2. It's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and you could tell that was probably going to be just a run play with the receivers. When they split that wide, they're just trying to draw bodies out of there, and you're hoping that your inside interior guys can beat their inside interior guys.
2 yards there for Kuntz. He's got the bulk of the touches, 10 carries for 70 yards, and officially by my count here tonight. And 2nd down and 8 upcoming for Gehlen. Ball is at their own 26-yard line. 4.5 to play in the first half, and Roberts lines up in the gun. Helmet high snap. He runs off the left side. He had a crease for a moment, but it gets filled nicely by the Royals. And a pickup of a yard to the 27-yard line will make it 3rd down and 7. I'm looking at Paul Ellenzone, the defensive coordinator. He saw that hole and just saw it fill up at the last second.
Yeah, and I think Mason slipped. I think Mason Small had his block, and then he slipped or tripped or something, just got his feet tangled because he went down, and that allowed the guy to make the tackle. So, unfortunately, it was there, and it closes quick.
4 minutes left to go in the half, and a big 3rd down once again for the Jays. Can they find a way to stay on the field? They've only recorded 2 first downs here in this contest. Out of the pistol set is Roberts. He takes a helmet high snap, play action bootleg, rolling to his right. He takes a deep shot over the right sideline. Underthrown football and a great adjustment. Back to it. Landon Knipe comes up with a sliding grab at the MMCRU 41-yard line. It is a pickup of 33 for a big Gehlen first down.
It's impossible for the defensive back on that. Yeah, number 10's out there. That is, let's see. That's Blake, and he's out there, and he puts his hands out like, what am I supposed to do? And you can't do anything because he's running stride for stride. He's soloed up over there. He's got to just sprint with him, and then all of a sudden the guy turns around and stops on a dime and comes back. The only thing you can do is hold him, and then you're going to get a penalty. So
honestly, sometimes it's an advantage for a quarterback to throw it underneath.
Absolutely.
Get a PI potentially as well. 1st and 10 of the MMCRU 41. 3 receivers bunched to the left. The hand goes off the left side. It's Easton Spangler breaking a tackle. He's able to turn forward to the 39-yard line. Stop there for a pickup of 2, and it's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and you can see Gehlen going on these wide splits out here with the receivers, just trying to draw bodies out there, get him out there, and then you're just playing 6-on-6 on the interior. So they think they can maybe have an advantage if they can do that.
Worth noting, Gehlen has all 3 timeouts. Nobody's used timeouts, so we've got all timeouts to go with 2:48 to go in this first half. Gehlen trails MMCRU 13-0. Again, a wide set, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Roberts in the shotgun. He immediately runs to his left, looking to turn the corner, and there's really nothing going as he's tackled for a loss. Back to the 40-yard line. Only loses a yard. A penalty flag comes out afterwards. Dane Lehman comes out of there without a helmet, which might be the cause for the laundry if it was taken off of him forcefully.
Then he can stay in.
Then he can stay. Yeah, that's what Coach Jeremy Schindler's telling him right now, that he might be able to stay in this game. So Dane's going to get back onto the field with his helmet now intact again. Says a loss of a yard on the result of the play, but we got a personal foul afterwards going against MMCRU. Well, a huge penalty there. We've had a few of those now that have been absolutely brutal for both Gehlen and MMCRU, but you could argue that the MMCRU penalties are really the main thing that's keeping Gehlen in this football game.
Yeah, and it's really been equal distribution of them, but at the same time, they're foolish plays.
Yep.
I mean, and Dane's been on the bad end of a couple of them already tonight, and so they don't make sense, and you have to keep your head and do things the right way.
Yeah, because you go from 3rd and 9 to 1st and 10 near the red zone. Roberts in the pistol at the 25, hands up the middle. Coons breaks a tackle, left seam 20, jukes a defender 15.
What a block!
Toward the right seam at the 10 to the 5. He's into the end zone for a Gehlen Catholic touchdown.
Block! Drake Hodson absolutely destroyed his man. That was awesome. And it was right in front of the official, so it was 100% clean. Otherwise, it would have got flagged because he just drove him backwards. What a block.
It's a 25-yard touchdown run for Wyatt Coons, and the Jays are on the scoreboard, 13-6. MMCRU leads 2 minutes to go before halftime. What a run for Coons. As you mentioned, what a big block for Drake Hodson downfield. Now the point after try upcoming for Kyler Van Voorst, trying to cut this one down to 6 points. This will be a big kick if he can get it. Here's the snap. The spot is good. Right-footed boot. Line drive is inside left upright, and it is good. Your score now with 1:59 to go before halftime. It's MMCRU 13, Gehlen Catholic 7. We'll take a break and see how the Royals respond with all 3 timeouts. A 2-minute drill is upcoming here on KLEM Radio.
Siouxland Glass is so glad you're supporting local athletes and listening to this great matchup. Siouxland Glass wants me to tell you that if you have a chip or crack in your windshield or need the whole thing replaced, you can call them at 540-9080. Siouxland Glass.
Floyd Valley Healthcare wants you to play at the peak of your skills. Don't forget to stretch your muscles, hydrate, and schedule your wellness checks to reach your full potential. Best of luck from Floyd Valley Healthcare in Lamar.
Make sure your life runs smoothly with an upgraded internet package from Premier Communications, connecting you with the internet speed and television access package that best fits your wants and needs. Premier Communications is happy to support our area coaches, athletes, and the parents who support them. Have a great season.
This is Quentin Johnson, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
Well, for all intents and purposes, there are just 2 minutes remaining in this first half. MMCRU all 3 timeouts, leads Gehlen Catholic 13-7 in Class A District 1 with Gabe Davis, Daniel Versteg with you. And it's great to be with you for a home game for a change as Wyatt Coons scores a 25-yard touchdown. The Jays were aided by a couple of big plays, the 32-yard pass to Landon Knight. The big penalty that the Royals were called on that turned 3rd and 9 into 1st and 10. And then, of course, the touchdown run from Coons. And now MMCRU all 3 timeouts, a 2-minute drill, up 6. And the kickoff upcoming here from Kyler Van Voorst. Sends a high right-footed end-over-end boot. Field at the 10, and it's run out toward the left seam to the 20, 25 spin move there for Michael Schmelin. And he's down at the 29-yard line. Not a bad return, but MMCRU has 71 yards to go with 3 timeouts and 1:53 on the clock.
Yeah, and you're confident if you're Remsen because you know you can do that. And if you're Gehlen, you're building confidence because you know you had some opportunities to stop them. Remsen needs to stop shooting themselves in the foot, and then Gehlen needs to just keep building on this momentum and keep this crowd in it, and make it a 4-quarter game, and that's going to be the important part right here.
So big drive for MMCRU, the Royals. And Gehlen, boy, if they could get a 3 and out, that would be monstrous here. 2 receivers right, 1 left of Eli Harpin on the pistol. He drops back 3 steps, throws toward the left numbers. That ball is caught. And a nice job getting out of bounds by Camden Bork. He's out at the 38, a gain of 9 to make it 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and I think it's do you want to bring pressure, do you not? It's going to be an interesting decision here. I see Mason Small talking to Coach Westhoff over here, and I'm assuming he's going to get one more squirt of water, and he's going to have to get back in there because he's one of those guys that doesn't let that pass happen because he gets those hands up. He's so dang long.
Yeah, he's 6'5", 6'6". I mean, that's outstanding height to have on the defensive end. 2nd down and 1 from the 38-yard line. As Gehlen does go back to their 3-man front. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Harpinot takes the belt high snap. Deep drop. He throws toward the right sideline. That ball's jumped and batted away. It's incomplete. Great read by Wyatt Coons. He knocks it away from Gage Johnson, and it's 3rd down and 1 with 1:44 left in the half.
Yeah, now if you're Remsen, you run this ball, you get the 1st down. And if you're Gehlen, if you can somehow figure out how to get this stop and push them back a little bit, call a timeout, maybe. You know, Remsen's pretty comfortable. They might even go for it on 4th and 1 if they're not too far behind the sticks. So, decision time for the coaches.
Big 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Gehlen was good on a 3rd down and 3 earlier tonight. 2 receivers right, 1 left, and it's Harpin on the pistol. Bell high snap, option, keeps right. Oh, he's blown up. He's dropped for a loss at the 36-yard line. Drake Hodson got in there, loses 2, and it's 4th down and 3.
And now you see they're going to run this clock. They can run it under a minute.
I'm a little surprised Coach Schindler's not calling
I
timeout.
am too, but I do think he's a little leery. They might go for this with 3 or 4 yards, and you don't want to give them time to think about it.
Yeah, I can understand that logic too. Save the timeouts for when you get the ball, assuming you do get the ball here. I can see either way here. Yeah, that's not too bad of a scenario. 1:05 to go in the half. Yeah, because you still got 3 timeouts.
Yep.
So here we go. A receiver, gunners on either side, and here's the punt. The right-footed boot by Wyatt Hollis. Great spiral. Coons backs up to his own 32. Fair catches.
55.
And 55 seconds remain here in the first half with Gehlen Catholic all 3 timeouts. This is set up just about as perfectly as you could ask for the Jays. They got a 3 and out. They have all 3 timeouts. Of course, short time on the clock, down 6.
And if in this situation, the Gehlen Jays, they want to make sure that one of 2 things happens. Either one, they score.
Yep.
Or they run 55 seconds off the clock.
Right.
Either one. If you can do both, great. But if you don't do either of them and they get the ball back with 30, 40 seconds left because of a turnover, then you're in trouble. So you want one of those 2 things to happen for sure.
Because I assume Coach Oswald will be using a timeout if they get a quick stop here. 1st down and 10 of the 33. Roberts the hand right side. Wyatt Coons had nowhere to go. He's dropped for a loss of a yard to the 32.
Nothing.
Boy, no
Nothing
timeout over there. No timeout anywhere. So a loss of a yard will make it 2nd and 11.
Everybody looks like they're just content hanging out and going into halftime 13-6.
Well, yeah, I'm a little surprised that Coach Kyle Oswald didn't call a timeout there. Coach Schindler is letting this clock tick down. And I think if the Jays had better field position, they'd probably be a little bit more aggressive. But, Gehlen,
10 yards would have made a big difference,
right,
I think.
Yeah, but Galen's not the team to be able to go 68, 70 yards downfield in a minute, no matter how many timeouts you have. Roberts hands left. That's Wyatt Coons running in between the hashes. He's brought down after a pickup of a yard to the 33, and that's going to take us into the halftime break.
Really surprised there wasn't, especially in that last one.
Yeah.
Because Remsen had 2 timeouts yet, didn't they?
I believe they had all 3. I think everybody's going in the locker room with 3 timeouts here. So.
All right.
All right, well, here we go. We're going into halftime, and number 1 ranked MMCRU only leads Gehlen Catholic 13-7. Number 1 ranked teams, boy, they have struggles here at Jim Lorenzen Field over the last couple of years. We will take a break, come back. We've got halftime coverage for you, get you some first half stats, get you caught up on the action you may have missed. And we'll get you some scores as well throughout the first half of competition around the area. That's all coming up on our halftime coverage from Jim Lorenzen Field. Your score at the break, it is number 1 ranked MMCRU 13, Gehlen Catholic 7. And we're back with our halftime coverage in just a few minutes here on KLEM.
Klein Insulation can provide you with a complete insulation system for your attic, crawl spaces, and foundation walls. Call Kyle with Klein Insulation at 540-5691. That's 540-5691.
Touchdown for great times at the Lamar's Eagles Club. Join us Tuesday nights for bingo, and don't miss our delicious Wednesday night burger night. Proud sponsors of local athletics, where the fun never stops. Visit the Eagles Club this week.
Willow Lodge Pet Resort wants to wish all of our area athletes best of luck in tonight's game. Whether leaving town for vacation or just need a place for your pet during the workday, see Willow Lodge Pet Resort today on Prospect Street in Lamar's.
Hi, Jessica G. Well, hello, Libby Lexus. I'm so excited to get the spa treatment at Easy Clean Car Wash. My owner knows how much I love the soft water. Oh, and the quick massage just makes my bumpers tingle.
And the blow dry is to die for. It always leaves my exterior sleek and shiny.
My owner bought me a year pass so I can have the spa treatment anytime I want.
Hey, ladies. Ooh, nice tires.
Oh, Mickey Mustang is such a player.
Easy Clean Car Wash. Give your car the spa treatment today. 12th Street east of Hy-Vee, Lamar's.
Young and old alike enjoy the competition of high school sports. Some participate, some watch, and some remember how it was. It's only a game, but it offers great life lessons and memories that last a lifetime. A few thoughts from Dan and Lori Rexwinkle of Rexwinkle Funeral Homes in Lamar's and Akron.
Supporting our students in their endeavors at school is important to Prime Bank. Making sure that our students have the best chance for success is why we work hard to provide our backing. Prime Bank wishes all of our teams and groups good luck.
A home is a safe place to be, a roof over your head, and 4 walls to keep out the heat and cold. It's a child's laughter, a mother's song, and a father's strength. It's where we go for comfort and to share joy. It's your first school and your first church. It's where memories are shared. Hi, this is Julie Hurt, your Century 21 ProLink real estate agent. Whatever a home means to you, I am here to help you find the home you are looking for. Call 540-7757 and let me, Julie Hurt, help you make a house your new home.
Hummers Lawn Care Service will provide you with the services needed for the best-looking lawn in your neighborhood. So whether it's thatching, fertilizing, or simply maintaining your freshly cut grass, call Hummers Lawn Care at 546-4087.
For all your construction needs, trust the Wilchin Brothers. They're a Better Business Bureau accredited business and will be there every step of the way to get your project done right. Call 546-4135 for Wilchin Brothers Incorporated. Bob's Bike Shop, your power sports headquarters. Yamaha, Can-Am, and Club Car. They've got the ride that fits your wild side. Visit them today on Highway 75 North in Lamar's. Proud sponsor of your local sports action.
This is Mason Small, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
Hey, welcome you back to our coverage of Gehlen Catholic and MMCRU football right here on KLEM. Lamar's online audio is found at KLEM1410.com. You can check out a video stream of this contest as well. That is found on the KLEM Radio YouTube channel. Alongside Gabe Davis, I'm Daniel Versteg. Taylor Lindner is running our video stream here tonight as Gehlen Catholic battles top-ranked and unbeaten MMCRU. And boy, it has been a good battle to this point in the contest, with MMCRU leading Gehlen Catholic by a margin of 13-7. Let's run down, again, we only really have the offensive numbers for you here tonight, but we can tell you about them real quick. MMCRU has totaled 188 yards of offense. 127 of them have come through the air on a total of just 4 completed passes, by the way, so they're averaging 32 yards completion there. 61 yards rushing here tonight for the Royals. Individually, Eli Harpenaugh is 4 of 9 for 127 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. That touchdown completion went to Gage Johnson. It was an 80-yard pitch and catch. Since then, he's only completed passes to Camden Bork 3 times for 47 yards. On the ground, Eli Harpenaugh has also run the ball 5 times for 10 yards and a touchdown. It's Brayson Mulder, 5 carries, 38 yards, as he welcomes himself back to high school football after a few weeks off. 2 carries and 13 yards here tonight for John Schmelling. Meanwhile, for Gehlen Catholic, the Jays have recorded 133 yards of offense. That's broken down between 97 yards rushing and 36 yards passing. Of course, Wyatt Coons, he's the bell cow right now. 13 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown. The rest of the rushing attack really doesn't have much to speak of. They have combined for 8 carries and 2 positive yards. Through the air, things are already infinitely better than they were last week for the Jays in Moville after, 4 interceptions the entirety of the game last week. It's been much better. Jack Roberts is 3 of 5 passing for a total of 36 yards. 32 of them came on one pass play to Landon Knipe. So again, that leads us, once we all kind of break that down, to our halftime score as top-ranked MMCRU leads Gehlen Catholic 13-7. The other thing we should mention is that there have been a total of 3 turnovers in this ball game, 2 interceptions by Gehlen Catholic, 1 for MMCRU. Landon Knipe, Dane Lehman have the interceptions for Gehlen. John Schmellen has the INT for MMCRU. Jays also had an opportunity to score 3 points earlier in the game, a 37-yard missed field goal by Kyler Van Voorst. Otherwise, it could be a 3-point ball game here at the break. All right, again, the halftime score, 13-7 MMCRU. Gabe, as you've been watching, what kind of things stick out most? I think I know one of the things you're going to say when it comes to some of the laundry we've seen on the field, the discipline of these two teams in a rivalry-style game. It's it's unfortunately showing to be a little light for both teams.
Yeah, and unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, it hasn't cost anybody too much.
No.
But you don't want it to. You don't want to get into a situation where you let your emotions cost your team immensely. Now, you could say that it did cost MMCRU down here,
6 points,
because they did end up scoring on that. But really, it's been both sides, and both teams have done some stuff that they don't need to do because it's just a good football game.
Right.
It's two really good teams that, MMCRU is probably a little bit better than Gehlen. But on the scoreboard right now and on this Friday night, they're pretty even. And so you just have to get rid of those types of things, and both coaches are going to hit on them. It's going to be the little things. You can't have the turnovers, and the first turnover by MMCRU was kind of a fluky deal.
Yep.
But then they have another interception, like you said, 2 tonight compared to 2 all season for him.
Right.
And then I think they're going to have to get back to establishing the run.
Mm-hmm.
MMCRU is going to have to really try to continue that. And then Gehlen is going to, on the flip side offensively, they're going to have to figure out how to pass the ball. They've had one big completion to Landon for 32 yards on an underthrown ball. It wasn't necessarily the prettiest thing, but it got them over to the 50-yard line. It got them where they needed to be. But both teams are going to have to find a way to either continue doing what they've been doing, Gehlen running the ball really well, and MMCRU passing the ball, or find a way to do the other thing better.
Right.
And defenses have been solid. They've stuck in there, and I'm really impressed with the Gehlen defense really holding up against a very, very big athletic MMCRU team.
Yeah, well, and I think it comes back to some of the things we talked about prior to the game. Is again, I've seen Gehlen more than you, so we had a few discussions about kind of what we might see tonight. But I mentioned how Galen's line play is going to be critical in this game, and we've seen Galen's defensive line in particular slow down the running game. That running game's not been effective, and forced Eli Harpenow to throw on the run, obviously throw into coverage, throw incomplete passes, and that's been a massive factor in this game.
Yeah, and they've forced him to move around a little bit and made him uncomfortable. The one pass they completed up to the top there on their last drive, we pointed out Mason Small wasn't in the game because I think they tried to throw that before, and he's a good enough, smart enough athlete that he gets into his guy, and when he sees he's not going to get there, he does the right thing and puts his hands up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we saw him do it last year,
Yep.
and I know he does it a lot this year. So I'm really been impressed with Small, Hodgson, and Lehman up front, and they've done a good job of just controlling what they can and doing enough and really keeping that motor going in order to chase down an athletic quarterback. And then offensively, they've opened up holes just enough to let Mr. Wyatt Coons get through there and gain almost 100 yards in the first half.
Well, because we've seen Wyatt now, especially that touchdown run, that was the biggest thing. When he's able to get space and get into the open field, he can make guys miss. I'm sure when I talk to Coach Oswald here afterwards, he's going to say, yeah, we didn't tackle very good. I'm seeing a lot of reaching. Again, it could come down to the fact that these guys don't play on the turf very often, so they're kind of getting used to their footing. But right now, you just need to give Wyatt a little bit of run or room to run in the open field, and he's going to make a play for you.
Yeah, and you wonder if they won't try to get him active in the passing game, maybe a screen of some sort, maybe a little swing pass where they're running away from those bigger guys, but they're so dang athletic on the outside too. It makes it tough. So it'll be interesting to see what type of adjustments are made by both staffs. I think, MMCRU is going to continue doing what they're doing. I think Gehlen's going to have to do a little bit more adjusting, being the team that is probably a little bit overmatched, and they're down by a score. MMCRU is going to get the ball right away, and that'll be a big drive to see how the second half's going to go.
You did mention in there, because MMCRU will get the football to start the second half, obviously, as you alluded to. You mentioned that the Royals do need to try and establish the run a little bit more and be able to kind of rely on that, because right now, the passing game has been the main way in which they've moved the football. What kind of things do you think they need to do, or is it just kind of come down to Gehlen's been better in the trenches, so there's not been room to run?
Yeah, and again, I haven't seen near enough, so I'm going to full disclosure. I'm not the guy that's watched a ton of film on these teams, right. But I think your quarterback's athletic enough and big enough to take a little bit of heat. Mm-hmm. And so if you can get some of the draw game going, or something where a running back's blocking, you create another blocker and you give him an opportunity to move the ball. When they've tried to run him, it seems like they've tried to run him sideline to sideline on option stuff, and he's comfortable with that, but he hasn't pitched it yet. Right. I think he's run it 3 times and hasn't pitched it. So maybe he's not comfortable pitching it. Maybe getting him just going more vertical, faking a dive and then following, something like that, or faking and getting him going in the opposite direction of some stuff. But I think it's a quarterback run game. If I were to think, just because of that type of athlete he is, if you can do that, and then now your defensive backs start to come up, and now maybe you can fake a little bit of that and you take your shot. So we'll see what they do, but I think quarterback run game is going to be a big part of the second half for MMCRU.
Your halftime score, once again, it is number 1 ranked MMCRU 13, Gehlen Catholic 7. Again, we'll remind you, the last time a number 1 ranked team, again, this was by Radio Iowa, not the Iowa High School Athletic Association at the time, but the last time a number 1 ranked team came to Jim Lorenzen Field to play Gehlen Catholic, the Jays got the win, defeating Woodbury Central here on a game-winning INT all the way on that far corner in the end zone that was very critical toward the Jays becoming a top 10 team of their own right late in the season, and getting a chance to host Woodbury Central in that second round of the playoffs. So big game here on the line. Of course, district implications as we sit right now in Class A District 1. MMCRU and West Sioux are leading the way, and that's not going to change for the Falcons. We saw their score. We'll give that to you here in just a moment. Gehlen Catholic is currently in third right now. A win would guarantee them a spot in the playoffs, I think. Maybe they'd be still mathematically able to lose it, but they still got South O'Brien to play, which should be a very winnable game. Sibley Ocheyedan right now 2-2. They're the last team into the playoffs. Hartley, Melvin, Sanborn, Sioux Central. That's a big game to kind of determine who might stay alive for the top 4. And then, South O'Brien's pretty much out of playoff contention at this point. So big game. Of course, MMCRU would love to set up basically a district championship game next week in Marcus against West Sioux. But Gehlen Catholic would like to kind of rain on the parade here just a little bit. Again, your halftime score, it's MMCRU 13, Gehlen Catholic 7. Let's take a break, and we'll catch you up on some scores happening around Northwest Iowa, Plymouth County. We'll get you some scores around some of the area districts as well. That's coming up in just a few minutes. It's halftime at Jim Lorenzen Field. MMCRU again leads 13-7 over Gehlen Catholic. We'll be back with more halftime coverage in just a moment here on KLEM Radio.
The Lamar's Knights of Columbus Council 1466 would like to wish our teams the best of luck in the game. The Knights of Columbus is proud to support our schools and many charities throughout the year with our pork chop dinners and fish fries. Check out upcoming events by visiting their Facebook page at Lamar's KFC. Tail Trends Dog Grooming supports all of our area high school athletes. At Tail Trends Grooming, your pet is sure to get spa-like treatment, bathing, grooming, and nail trimming available. Contact Tail Trends Dog Grooming today at 546-7318.
Top-notch automotive owners Jerry and Jason Mura can help with all your auto repair needs, from AC repair to transmission rebuilds, engine replacement, steering, suspension diagnostics, and more. Call 712-546-7430 or stop by Top-Notch Automotive, 1600 18th Street Southwest, Lamar's.
Peace Pizza House is your destination before and after the game. Whether you need to feed the whole family or just looking to get out before the game, make sure to stop at Peace Pizza House. You'll find many appetizers, burgers, salads, pasta, and of course, Peace Pizza House outstanding pizza selections. Your entire family is sure to find something they're looking for. Peace Pizza House would like to wish our local teams the best of luck this season.
State Farm agent Michael Crank is a proud supporter of local athletics. Whether you are looking for auto, home, or health insurance, choose the agent that will be on your side. State Farm agent Michael Crank.
Smithco Manufacturing in Lamars would like to wish our area athletes a safe, successful fall season. For 30 years, Smithco has used great teamwork to produce the #1 selling side dump trailers in the country. To learn how you can join our winning team, go online at sidedump.com.
Sioux City Yamaha, Can-Am, and Kawasaki. Your ride starts here. From Yamaha to Can-Am and Kawasaki, they've got the power, performance, and adrenaline you crave. Visit them today on Highway 75 in Sioux City. Proud sponsor of local sports action.
Get the winning team on your side with experts at Exit Realty Midwest Lamars. Misty Zeck, Dave Close, Austin Sitzman, Abby Phillips, Jody Adler, Alec Ryken, and Clark Goodchild are ready to help you call the plays when it comes to buying or selling your home. Learn more at ExitRealtyMidwest.com.
Today's banking is about so much more than numbers. It's about people. It's about community. It's about the next generation. Banking is personal. That's what we believe. And that's why we'll always put you first. Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on.
Quality Lube of Lamar's is proud of all our Plymouth County athletes. At Quality Lube, they focus on you, the customer, to ensure that they can keep you on the road when you need to be. From diagnostic repair to routine oil changes, Quality Lube can do it all.
When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Game on, Lamars. Looking for a winning team for your finances? Join Cent Credit Union. As a member-owned cooperative, Cent is all about you, your goals, your community. Let's score big together. Visit centcu.org today, where your success is our play.
This is Jeremy Schindler, head coach for the Gehlen Catholic football team. You're listening to Jay's Football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
We welcome you back to Jim Lorenzen Field here in Lamar's, the site of this Class A District 1 football game, as top-ranked and unbeaten MMCRU leads Gehlen Catholic, but it is a slim lead, just 13-7, the halftime score here on the halftime scoreboard. Danny Versteg, Gabe Davis with you as we bring you the contest. We're going to take a look around Northwest Iowa and Plymouth County and try and get you some scores from some area contests. A lot of them have not. There's a couple football games in the listening area that have not gotten to halftime yet. They are pretty close, though, in Remsen. We do have a couple of halftime scores we'll tell you about. Heading to Western Plymouth County, Akron Westfield only trails 8th-ranked Woodbury Central 7-0. That's a good ball game there for the Westerners as they battle a very good Wildcat team. Kingsley Pearson, boy, they are coming back home with vengeance. Homecoming night for the Panthers, looking to get to their 5th consecutive win, and they're going to get that done. They are dominating West Bend Mallard 52-6 at the halftime break. This after putting up 79 against New Wolfonda last week. They're just about at halftime in Remsen, and Remsen St. Mary's leads New Wolfonda for St. Mary's homecoming 29-22. That game is near halftime, and they just called a timeout. Hinton has a big 47-7 lead on Maple Valley, Anthony, Charter Oak Utes, the Rams. And that game just went to halftime there in Mapleton. So those are the scores around Plymouth County. Scores that impact Class A District 1. Let's get you a few of those here real quick. At the half, big game in Sioux Rapids as Sioux Central leads Hartley Melvin Sanborn 14-10. Both teams are trying to stay in the playoff hunt. They're both currently out of the playoff hunt, and so we'll see how that potentially impacts the playoff standings. It's virtually over in Hayward. West Sioux leads South O'Brien 48-0 in the second quarter. And how about the battle from Sibley-Ocheyedan? This is why that loss that the Jays had against Sibley-Ocheyedan earlier in the year doesn't look as bad. They trail number 5 ranked West Hancock 21-14 at the halftime break. We all know how good West Hancock is with their numerous trips to the Dome. And, boy, they are showing why they are another talented football team here again this year. So those are the scores involving Class A District 1. Normally we'd also be able to bring you some scores for Lamar's community tonight in their district. We'll try and get you a couple of those here real quick. The last score update we have from Spencer was that the Dodgers went up 19-14. Fort Dodge up 33 seconds left in the half. That is the last update we have, so we can probably safely assume that is a halftime score there in Spencer. And then Sergeant Bluff Luton all over Storm Lake. It is 42-0 at the halftime break there in Sergeant Bluff. So that looks like it could set up a very massive game in Lamar's with 2 unbeaten teams in Class 4A District 1 coming up on next Friday. Let's see what other scores we have around Northwest Iowa. Well, we got the time in Orange City. Unity Christian crushing Sheldon 42-7 at the half. Sioux Center making the long trip to Webster City and making it worthwhile. They lead the Lynx 21-14 at the half. It is halftime in Sioux City. Bishop Heel and MOC Floyd Valley, top 10 matchup in Class 3A. That is scoreless at the break. Central Lyon, George Little Rock, boy, they've fallen on tough times, but they are leading a top 5 team in Class 2A at the half. They lead Western Christian 19-13. In Holstein, West Lyon leads Ridgeview 21-0. Those are a couple of unbeaten teams in Class 1A District 1. Cherokee, how about the Braves? They lead number 9 ranked Boyden Hull Rock Valley 22-10 at the halftime break. That is really the only other score that we have for you of note. We'll tell you also, I guess this one popped up for me. Sioux City North trailing Urbandale 42-7 at the halftime break there. So those are some scores of note around Northwest Iowa, Plymouth County. Let's go ahead and take one more break, and we'll come back with the second half of action. Again, MMCRU is on top of Gehlen Catholic by a score of 13-7. We're back in just a minute here on KLEM.
Williams & Company, certified public accountants, congratulates all area athletes in support of excellence, good sportsmanship, and the spirit of teamwork. A proud sports sponsor, Williams & Company CPAs, your full-service business advisor with a local office in Lamar's. Colbeck Incorporated is proud to support local high school athletics. They encourage you to play hard and play smart and always show good sportsmanship. Best of luck from your friends, Brian, Kevin, and Wayne Colbeck.
Lamar's Community Athletic Boosters are proud supporters of this broadcast. Hard work and determination are vital to the success of our area athletics. The Lamar's Community Athletic Boosters are proud to stand behind our athletes and coaches as they work towards success on the field and in the classroom.
At American Bank, we believe in offering you what you want in a bank. Free checking, free debit and ATM cards, extended lobby and drive-up hours, competitive loans and deposit rates, online and mobile banking with bill payment and mobile deposit services. American Bank, achieving success together for over 130 years.
Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This is Dan Lemon, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back to Jim Lorenzen Field here in Lamar's alongside Gabe Davis, Daniel Versteg with you. We thank you for keeping it tuned for our halftime coverage here tonight as number 1 ranked and unbeaten MMCRU leads Gehlen Catholic by a score of 13-7. The Royals will get the opening kickoff of the second half, and they're going to see if they can get this lead back up to 2 possessions or if Gehlen Catholic will be able to buckle down defensively once again and see if they can keep this a 1-possession game. And who knows, maybe give themselves a chance to take the lead. Thanks for keeping it tuned once again on our halftime coverage. Gehlen Catholic will be kicking it from right to left as we open the second half of play. And the kickoff will come off the right cleat of Kyler Van Voorst. Ball teed up at the 40-yard line. A second half, very critical, 24 minutes towards some playoff seedings is underway. A high right-footed end-over-end kick gets fielded at the 10 by Michael Schmellen. He runs it in between the hashes, left seam 20, gets a block downfield to the 30, left numbers 35, shoulders a tackle 40. He's broken free and then gets tripped up at the 48-yard line of MMCRU. A great return for Michael Schmellen. Goes 38 yards, and the Royals will start near midfield.
Yeah, and that's exactly what MMCRU needed. They got that room, and now they're darn near the 50-yard line to start the second half. And now we'll see what kind of adjustments both teams made.
Well, of course, the Royals, as you mentioned, it'd be kind of important for them to get a running game established because right now the Jays have been able to settle into pass coverage and really shut things down there. 1st and 10 of the 48-yard line of MMCRU. Ball's at the 48 of Eli Harpin on the pistol, and he turns left, gives to Mulder. Running off the left side, left numbers. Across midfield, 45-40. In the open field, 30. One man to beat, and Drake Knipe drags him down at the 22-yard line. A good tackle in the open field and a good run back there by Brayson Mulder. 32 yards and a first down for the Royals.
Yeah, and I don't think he got a hand put on him until he got 30 yards downfield, and Drake jumped in front of him, and that's not someone you want to jump in front of because he's a big, hard runner. So Drake did a good job of saving the touchdown, but that was a big run to start.
I swear, Brayson Mulder's been 6'2", 220 for like his entire high school career. It's been so impressive how he's been able to run for the Royals here the last 4 years. 1st and 10 of the 20 of Gehlen Catholic. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left of Harpinaugh. The snap rolls to him. He picks it up at his own 30, now runs it, and he's dragged down for a big loss at the 24-yard line. He was able to salvage a few yards from where the snap originally rolled, but he still loses 4 to make it 2nd and 14.
Yeah, and those are the things that if you're Gehlen and you're going to survive this onslaught right now to start the second half, those are the things you need.
Yeah, those are the things that you have to have go your way. Either he mishandles it or you bring him down for a loss there. Well, that is certainly a big stop. And kind of right now you're on the edge of Gage Johnson's field goal range if the Royals would look to try and take points here. 2nd and 14. 2 receivers right and 1 to the left of Harpinaugh. He turns right. He gives around the right side. Brayson Mulder toward the right seam. Stiff arms Lehman, and he's chopped down for a loss. Wyatt Coons busted the block on the outside. Loss of 3 to the 27. It's 3rd and 17.
Yeah, and Wyatt Coons is not very big, but he came up and did everything he needed to. He's fortunate that Dane was attracting a little bit of the attention, and he could kind of get in there and do his job, but that was great to see.
Brayson Mulder will check out. Blake Berinsky checks in, and John Schmellen will go into the backfield for MMCRU on 3rd down and 17 to go. Ball is at the Gehlen Catholic 27-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and a tight end left side of the formation as Harpinaugh lines up in the pistol, claps his hands, bell high snap, 3-step drop. He throws left numbers, catch made at the 20. He broke the tackle 15. Running left numbers is Gage Johnson to the 5. He's into the end zone. It's a big MMCRU touchdown. Gage Johnson had one man to beat, 7 yards downfield. He beat him and did the rest, and the Royals take a 2-possession lead, now 19-7.
Yeah, he's just in, and I haven't seen him. That's what he's done before. That's what he did earlier, and he catches the ball only a few yards downfield, but then he's so elusive, and he's strong. You can tell he's strong, and when he starts running, he gets going, and you just have to take the air out of that. You cannot give him that much space to make you – he's tough to tackle in the open field.
And he's so darn quick. As you mentioned, he's got state track speed, and now, the swinging gate. The gate is all the way to the left side. Harpinaugh with Camden Bork is kind of a tight end in the middle. They do snap it to Harpinaugh. Jump throw toward the center, and a left-handed, one-handed catch by Michael Schmellen converts the 2-point try. Now, what great execution there on a little eye candy on the misdirection. And with 9:35 to go before halftime, Gehlen Catholic trails MMCRU 21-7. Jays get the football coming up next here on KLEM.
Hi, this is Julie Hurt with Century 21 ProLink in Lamar's, your local real estate expert dedicated to results. Whether buying or selling a home, call me, Julie Hurt, with Century 21 ProLink in Lamar's at 540-7757. That's 540-7757.
Lamar's Agri-Center, your local source for top-performing Kent feed products, bulk grass seed, bulk bird seed, lawn care essentials, dust control solutions, and much more, all accompanied with exceptional service. The Lamar's Agri-Center, your source for everything that grows.
Advanced Eye Healthcare, Dr. Becky DeRuyter knows all of our student athletes need to keep their eye on the ball. Make sure with an eye exam at Advanced Eye Healthcare at Walmart Vision Center in Lamar's. Dr. Becky DeRuyter.
This is Gehlen Catholic, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
Well, a couple of big plays give MMCRU a touchdown with 9:35 to go in the third, and it's 21-7 Royals. Here's a high right-footed pooch kick, run up and muffed at the 25. Diving back on the football to save it is Tarek Mayrose at the 28-yard line. A good job by Mayrose to fall on it and keep the possession. Jays will have 1st and 10, down 2 possessions.
Yeah, and he's a young kid. He looks a little bummed, like he missed an opportunity, but he got back on it, and that's the most important thing. I mean,
you get the football.
you like his aggressiveness to say, hey, I have to go get this, because that's a smart play. If it bounces around, you're in trouble. So he did a good job of getting there and just couldn't quite pull it in on the first one, but jumped on it before you lose possession, which is huge.
So 1st and 10 for Gehlen. 9:33 to go in the third, and the Jays up down 21-7 to number 1 ranked MMCRU. Jack Roberts lines up in the shotgun. 3 receivers bunched to the left. It's an option around the left side. A pitch comes out late. Wyatt Coons trying to cut it back. There's just nowhere for him to go. Along the left seam, he's down at the 26, loses 2, and it's 2nd and 12.
And you take for granted when you watch teams that run the option a lot how they can pitch with their right and left hand. You can see he had to almost like baseball chest pass that because he just wasn't comfortable. And a lot of times at this age, they can't even grip the ball fully, in order to get a good pitch out there with a thumb down. So it just slowed everything down a little bit and couldn't quite get going forward. 2nd
down and 12 for the Jays, now having to climb out of a hole they dug themselves into the 26-yard line. Quick turn and a hand to Coons. He breaks a tackle somehow in that pile, and he was able to dive forward for the hardest earned yard you will ever get. 3rd down and 11 at the 27.
Yeah, just not a whole lot going there, and they're just saying you're not going to you have to pass the ball. You have to. I mean, and unfortunately, we just haven't felt comfortable doing that on the Gehlen side tonight.
8:30 to play in this third quarter. 21-7 MMCRU leads Gehlen Catholic, and the Jays have 3rd down and 11. Ball's at their own 27-yard line. 3 receivers line up to the right, 1 receiver to the left, and the shotgun set is Jack Roberts. With the back off his left hip, he takes the snap, runs the option to the short side, left side. Pitch play goes to Coons, and he's brought down, tackled in the open field at the 29. They'll gain 2 yards, but it'll be 4th and 9, and the Jays have to punt.
Yeah, and that's not the drive that the Jays wanted. It took about 2 minutes, and it went about a yard. So defense is going to have to bow their neck. Maybe you can get a turnover or something, but you'd hate to get down another score here because it might be a tough hill.
4th down and 9 for Gehlen at their own 29-yard line, and here's Landon Knipe lining up to boot it away. Wyatt Olish and Gage Johnson are back deep to return for the Royals. They're standing at about their own 43-yard line. Snap to Knipe. He steps into one, a high right-footed wobbling punt, and this one bounces at the 45. It takes a pretty neutral roll.
Oh, buddy.
And the Royal, the up player had to get away from it.
That could be a penalty very easily.
Gehlen touched it down at the the Gehlen 46-yard line. Yeah, Blake Berinsky was kind of tangled up with a J there, and he kind of
flat grabbed by Spangler. He just grabbed and tried to throw him on there, and that's not a good play.
Yeah, so both teams, I think, lucky to get out of there with nothing hurt, and now the Royals will start in Gehlen territory at the 46-yard line. Well, tough break there for the Jays. They only get 17 yards on the punt. And with 7:23 left to go in the half, MMCRU has the football. Here they come to the line, leading Gehlen 21-7. Midway through this third quarter, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and a tight end right of the quarterback Eli Harpin on the pistol. He takes a snap, he turns right, and he gives to John Schmelin, barreling his way to the line, and Drake Hodson grabbed him at the waist and said, come back with me. A gain of a yard to the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, that was a nice play, nice physical play by Hodson, and he did a great job of pulling him back and not letting him get those legs going too much, because when these running backs get downhill, they cause some issues.
Just a yard there, and this is the Gehlen defense that they need to see. Down 2 possessions. If you get down 3 scores against this good MMCRU team, it could be game over. 2 receivers to the left, tight end left, and a receiver right of the pistol set of Eli Harpin on. Balls along the right hash of the 45 of Gehlen on 2nd and 9. He's immediately running to his left. A quarterback run play toward the left numbers at the 40, just short of the 40 at the 41, and he stood up there. A pickup of 4 yards there for Eli Harpin on. That sets up 3rd and 5 for the Royals.
Yeah, and I wonder if you don't see something like that again and maybe try to get going more vertical early. But you got big number 1 coming in here, so you might see a Brayton Mulder right now.
Brayson Mulder's run it multiple times, and he's got 2 running plays over 20 yards in his total of 7 touches here tonight. Outside of that, he's been neutralized pretty well, but again, those 2 big plays certainly stick out. 3rd and 5 for the Royals at the Gehlen 41-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Harpin on the pistol, Mulder directly behind him. Take the play clock down, now take the snap. Knee high, drops back to throw, pass left, numbers caught. 35-yard line and a first down to the 34. Still on his feet is Michael Schmelin, and he's finally ruled down of forward progress. Michael Schmelin with a 7-yard reception and a big MMCRU first down.
Yeah, and they took the air out of it. I mean, they were right there on him and didn't give him a chance to beat him vertically, but nice throw and a nice catch to convert that third down. And, you know, every second counts now, and that's now you can – aside from a turnover, you can count another, minute and a half to 2 minutes guaranteed off the clock.
Yeah, MMCRU can really make it hurt. They're leaving Gehlen Catholic not too many opportunities to possess this football. The Royals go under center into an I formation. The tailback is Mulder. Fullback is Schmelin. The hand goes to Mulder around the left side. Off tackle running to the 30. He drags defenders to the 25. And he's brought down there for a pickup of 9 yards. It'll be second down and 1.
Yeah, the way you said that, it sounds like it's unfamiliar. We haven't seen it a whole lot tonight, but this is also an opportunity for them to, as you play further on into the year, you're going to need to be able to run clock. You're going to need to be able to get under center and do some of those things. So, you never know what the weather's going to be like in October. And even at the beginning of November, if you're still playing outside at the end of October, it could be kind of dicey. So
yeah, you do need to be able to run the football from an under center set, and that's a good run there for MMCRU. They go back to it. I formation, same personnel, second down and 1 from the 25. They give it to the fullback this time. John Schmelin stood up at the line of scrimmage. He kept his feet driving, but he didn't get to the line to gain. The Jays string it out. No pickup. Actually, they'll lose a yard to the 26, and that sets up third down and 2.
See, now, my coaching brain is sitting here telling me if I were in this position, I would run a play action. I'd line up in that big, heavy set, and I'd run a play action and try to take a shot to the middle of the field because I think there's some availability there. And Galen's going to really try to pile in, so we'll see what they do.
Especially because you're also thinking it's probably four down territory.
You have another down.
So third down and 1 here at the 25-yard line. I formation, a long one here for Eli Harpena under center. Tries to get the Jays to bite. It's a quarterback sneak. He comes out the other side. Left seam 10. Stiff arms a defender to pay dirt. And the Royals add to their lead. A quarterback sneak that goes 25 yards for 6. And the Royals lead 27-7.
There's that QB run game. I don't think we expected it to come on a quarterback sneak from under center, but we'll take credit for it anyways that we said something, because I think that surprised Gehlen even a little bit. And sometimes he may have not had that call. Sometimes if you get a split and you don't have a guy on the center, they'll go up and they'll tap their center, and then that kind of says, hey, we're going to just go because we only have a yard. We used to do that with Brandon Phelan all the time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're pulling out the names there.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. We were talking about some of those old Lamar's community teams from way back when, prior to the game. Here's a snap and spot, point after kick. It is through the uprights and good. And your score now with 3:53 to go before the end of the third quarter. It's MMCRU 28, Gehlen Catholic 7. We'll take a break, and the Jays will have another chance to respond coming up next here on KLEM.
Lamar's Physical Therapy wants to wish our student athletes a successful and injury-free season. But if injury occurs, our therapists are here to get you back into the game. No doctor referral needed. Call us at 546-1718. Lamar's Physical Therapy, your hometown therapy provider.
At Roosters Harley-Davidson in Sioux City, you can find your perfect ride with bikes, gear, and service you can trust. Find them online at roostersh-d.com or stop by Roosters Harley-Davidson today, where your next ride is waiting. Every day is game day when you feel your best. At Game Day Men's Health in Dakota Dunes, they help you boost energy, build muscle, and reclaim your edge. Get your testosterone checked today and visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com for more.
This is Nathan Kolbeck, and you are listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back here to Jim Lorenzen Field in Lamar's alongside Gabe Davis. Daniel Versteg with you, and your score with 3:53 left to go in the third quarter. It's top-ranked MMCRU 28, Gehlen Catholic 7. The Royals starting to look like the number 1 ranked team in the state here in the second half of play as they get into a high right-footed end-over-end kick, and backing up to the 8-yard line to run it out is Marshall Sievers, and he slips down across the 15 to the 17, maybe the 18-yard line. So the Jays will start inside their own red zone. Tough field position there. But, boy, this is kind of how we might have envisioned this game to go, Gabe, with the MMCRU offense now clicking and the Gehlen offense struggling.
Yeah, and eventually they're going to lean on you enough to make it tough. And and they really come out in the second half, and that's what they've done. They did have a touchdown pass, but they ran the ball to get there, and then they throw the pass. And they make it tough on you by leaning and just making it difficult.
First down and 10 here for Gehlen Catholic. Ball's at their own 18-yard line as the Jays trail MMCRU 28-7. 3:49 left to go in this third quarter. Snap to Roberts. He gives up the middle. That's Wyatt Coons running up the left seam. And brought down to the 22-yard line is Coons. A nice gain of 4 yards to start this drive. And it's second down and 6.
Yeah, and he'll be just short of 100 yards, and he's earned every bit of it. He's had one big run, but he's really had to, what does he have, probably 14, 15 carries?
17, I got
17 carries, yeah. So he's really had to work for everything he's gotten tonight.
So it will be first down and 10 here for Gehlen Catholic. Ball at their own 22-yard line. And if you notice a little commotion in the background of our live stream, there is a little situation on the road behind the MMCRU bleachers on that far side. It is second down and 6 from the 22. Roberts gives to the fullback Spangler, and he's able to barrel his way forward to the 25, and there's late pushing and shoving after the play. A couple of players finish their blocks late, and this is going to impact Gehlen Catholic, I think. The 3-yard carry will make it 3rd and 3, but that's not going to be the next play.
Yeah, and you guys, you got to know when the whistle blows, and you love it because it didn't look cheap, but when the guy falls over because he pushed him over someone, then it's gonna get that 15-yarder, unfortunately.
Personal foul goes against Gehlen Catholic. I assume for unnecessary roughness would be the technical description of that personal foul. So it is only half the distance to the goal, but that still impacts Gehlen greatly back to the 12-ish yard line, 12 or 13.
And it's post-play. That's the part that hurts you because if it's in the play, at least you get your second down back.
But instead, it is third down due to that penalty occurring after the play. Third down, and we'll say 15 yards here. Ball at the 13-yard line of Gehlen Catholic here with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. MMCRU all over Gehlen Catholic by a margin of 28-7. Here on 3rd and 15, the Jays, well, they got to have something here to give themselves a little bit more hope. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left of Roberts in the power pistol. He turns to his fullback, fakes the give, runs off the right side, keeps it up the right hash, and he's dragged down from behind. Eli Schlanger got to him at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it'll be 4th and 15.
Yeah, and that's just a little conservative there, trying to make sure you don't make a big mistake, but eventually you're going to have to try to take some shots and get yourself back into this if at all possible.
And it's a tough, it's starting to, when you play a good team, a ranked team, they get momentum, you lose momentum. It's really hard to claw it back. And unfortunately, that's starting to be kind of what's taking place here. High snap. Knipe gets it down, gets a right-footed knuckleball away. Johnson fields it over his shoulder, juggles, then pins it to his right shoulder. He runs it right numbers to the 35-30, and he's brought down in Gehlen territory right at about the 30-yard line. That's where MMCRU will start with this drive. It's worth noting that in this second half, the Royals have run just one play on their side of the field. That's how dominant the field position has been now for almost 2 full quarters.
Yeah, they've really dominated everything, and the one play they ran was a shooter right up the sideline, and he didn't wait over there very long.
No, he didn't. Yeah, they did not spend much time on this eastern side of the field. I'm trying to. We'll call it that. We'll call it that. Maybe northeastern, I guess. Yep. Yeah. Here we go. First down and 10 here for MMCRU. Ball is on the right hash of the 32 of Gehlen. And here is Harpinon. The pistol, he turns right, gives to Mulder. Straight up ahead, in between the hashes to the 25. And Mulder's dragged down to the 22. Boy, they gave him a good spot there. Now they go back to the 23. That's more like it. 8-yard carry. It'll be second down and 2.
Yeah, and he's an interesting back because he almost looks like he looks for a little bit of contact at the end. I felt like he could have bounced that to the outside, but didn't really want to. He just wanted to kind of collide with someone, take his 7 yards, and be back in a minute.
Which I'm sure makes Kyle Oswald feel that much better, considering he's missed the last 3 games with an injury.
But at least he's comfortable doing it, you know, and he's not gun shy, and he's not holding back anything.
Yeah, he's certainly playing with confidence, which is good to see coming off an injury. Second down and 2 from the 23. Low snap, and Harpinon picks it up, but Lehman was right there for him. He drags him down back to the 29-yard line. It is a loss of 6. It'll be 3rd and 8.
It's amazing how many times a snap like that, obviously it's going to throw off the timing and all that stuff, but it allows Dane, because you don't know what the play was, but Dane shot right through there, probably because his guy stepped in a direction, and then it didn't matter because it wasn't going there anymore, and Dane saw the ball. So good play by him, and this is going to be a big stand that has to happen here for Gehlen.
Yeah, if they force 4th down, this might be the last play before the third quarter comes to an end, or maybe they'll run one more. 3rd down and 8 from the Gehlen 29-yard line. Out of the pistol is Harpenau. He takes a 3-step drop. The Jays bring 5. They dump off a screen right, and they throw it short of Brayson Mulder. It's an incomplete pass, and now the Royals will have to snap it here on 4th down and 8 of the 29.
And it's gonna have to be a pass.
Yep.
Or it's gonna have to be something where they're gonna feel comfortable gaining a significant amount of yards here.
Yeah, because this is certainly not field goal range for Gage Johnson. He did make a 37-yarder earlier in the year, but this would be a 46-yarder.
They have tried to draw him off sides a couple different times. We'll see if that might be the first play. But when you only have 10 seconds on the play clock, you can't do too much of that.
Yeah, they tried it once earlier and were successful. They've tried it a couple times and have not been successful. Play clock's down to 2. Snap back to Harpenau. The empty set. He throws over the middle. That ball is intercepted. There's a penalty flag as Nathan Kolbeck runs it back. Here he goes, left numbers, 40. He's got Harpenau to beat, and he's tackled down to the 47-yard line. Nathan Kolbeck, the interception. But, yeah, we have to hold any excitement with the penalty flag. We'll hold on just a moment. The Jays are not celebrating too much for the time being. There is a penalty flag down at the Gehlen 20-yard line, and it was during the passing play, so it's not like it's on the return where this would stay with Gehlen football.
And I looked down. I looked and did not see anything downfield, like a big guy that didn't belong there. So we got all kinds of lights now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I see 2 fire trucks. I see EMS out here, a couple of cop cars. Yeah,
hope everybody's okay.
I hope everything's okay over there down on that far side of the field. Certainly drawing a crowd inside the stadium to see what's going on out there. There's also a crowd at the 50-yard line. It's of 4 men in black and white striped shirts trying to figure out what the result of this play is going to be.
The most interesting part is I think the guy who threw it standing next to the flag.
That's right, yeah.
No flag.
Oh, they picked up the flag. Oh, boy, and now Kyle Oswald's going to want an explanation over there on the far side for MMCRU. The interception return will stand. It's the 3rd pick thrown by Eli Harpenau tonight. And with a run back by Kolbeck, it'll be 1st and 10 at the Gehlen 47.
I really wish I knew what the discussion was.
I do, too. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall there.
That was a weird spot to throw a flag and then to pick it up and not throw it. And then to move the ball to the center of the field.
Well, that was where the return was, so.
I thought it would have been on this hash. That's why.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you were talking field position.
So it just seems, a lot of interesting things.
Yeah, it should be on the left hash, right?
Yeah.
But either way, 1st and 10 here for Gehlen Catholic.
That's what they needed.
That's what they needed, yeah. They're right near midfield at the 47. Power pistol here for Roberts. High snap, juggles, gets it down, hands to Coons, and he loses 4 yards. And the Royals shot the gap. It's Brayson Mulder on the hit. Loss of 4. It'll be 2nd and 14.
Yeah, and this might be just a, hey, let's get to the quarter break.
Yep.
Take a breath. We're right there. We've got the ball. Get a couple scores here, or get a score and build, and that's all you can do. You are 3 scores, which is unfortunate, but you have to get 1 before you can get 2.
Yep, and they are going to take this into the quarter break after 3 here in Lamar's. MMCRU leads Gehlen Catholic 28-7. We'll take a break. 4th quarter up next. Jays have the football at their own 43 when we come back on KLEM.
Men's fashions, tuxedo rentals, and dry cleaning services. That's Mesher's Clothing, downtown Lamar's. Open weekdays 9 till 5:30, Saturdays 9 till 4. See Chad for all your fashion needs. That's Mesher's in the middle, downtown Lamar's.
Hey, Bobby Blazer, how long you been waiting in that line? Head over with me to Easy Clean Car Wash. They're going to get you in and out in no time and make that black coat of yours look like $1,000,000.
Say, thanks there, Mickey Mustang. I've been out four-wheeling and I got lots of mud and stuff in my wheel wells and other places as well.
Bobby, didn't Libby Lexus tell you that Easy Clean Car Wash will pre-spray those hard-to-reach places, give you a quick massage, and make you feel and look like a whole new truck?
So that's what Libby Lexus has been up to. You know, Mickey, she's looking fine.
Easy Clean Car Wash on 12th Street, east
east of Hy-Vee and Lamar's.
Make sure you can see the ball clearly. Schedule your annual eye exam today at Gehlen Family Eye Care, downtown Lamar's. They'll treat you like family, and they have the most stylish eyewear selection in town. Gehlen Family Eye Care.
This is Kane Kearns, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back to Jim Lorenzen Field in Lamar's alongside Gabe Davis. Daniel Versteg with you as we bring you a regular season matchup here in Lamar's. Not very often we get to do this, but when Lamar's plays on a Thursday night, we take advantage of the opportunity to bring you 2 football games in one weekend. There's not many radio stations that can tell you that here in the entire state of Iowa. We get ready to go with the fourth quarter of play, and Gehlen Catholic trails top-ranked MMCRU 28-7. A great second quarter for the Royals. It did end, unfortunately, with an Nathan Kolbeck INT, but when all was said and done, MMCRU expanded their lead from 1 score to 3 scores, and they lead the Jays 28-7 to open quarter number 4. But as we mentioned, the interception gives Gehlen the football. They've got 2nd and 14 from their own 43. 3 receivers, right, 1 left. Roberts the snap, option left, late pitch, goes to Coons, left seam, breaks a tackle in the backfield, and he fights his way back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard to the 44-yard line. That'll be it, and it's 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, and I think that was the adjustment. They're going to try to get to that option and get to that pitch. It just has not been there, and they've been, unfortunately, going in the wrong direction right now.
So 3rd and 13 for Gehlen, and again, another situation where you have a very long down and distance, but you're in a spot where you might be able to feel comfortable going for a 4th down play here. At this point, you're down 3 scores in the 4th quarter. You kind of have to.
Yeah, it becomes how many possessions we're going to get at some point.
3 receivers, right, 1 left. Roberts in the shotgun, drops back to pass. He takes a shot over the middle, and he underthrew his target. It's an incomplete pass. Blake Berinsky on the coverage. Marshall Sievers the intended target, and it will be 4th down and 13.
Yep, and I believe they will go for this.
Yeah, well, they're...
Nope.
No, they are going to bring the punt team out here. Okay. And so Gehlen Catholic will maybe try and play the field position game. I guess the thought would be if you can get a quick 3 and out, maybe you might get a shot to have a few possessions back your way, but it's going to probably have to take a perfect finish to this one, although Gehlen has been known to run fakes here the last few years, so we'll see if that's one of these. Wow, this snap is over the head of Landon Knipe. He picks it up on the hop. He runs to his right. He can still punt it. Now he throws up the right sideline and threw well incomplete. Nobody was over there, and so it ends up being a turnover on downs. And now Alexander Munoz is reminding Knipe that he can still punt that football. But it will be a turnover on downs officially instead, and MMCRU will start with the ball at the Gehlen 44-yard line.
Yeah, and there were a couple of earlier snaps that were kind of close, and so you kind of wondered if there was, and that one just kind of got away from him and took off.
Yeah. Tough break there for Gehlen, and now with 11:11 to go in this ballgame, now you really have to be perfect here, as MMCRU will look to put the nail in the coffin with this drive at the Gehlen 44-yard line. MMCRU leads Gehlen 28-7, looking to get to 4-0 in the district, and a win here tonight should all but guarantee the Royals a playoff spot. The district title will certainly be on the line next week in Marcus against West Sioux. Here's a handoff up the middle. Oh, and then Brayson Mulder is denied any chance of positive yardage by Dane Lehman. It's a loss of 3 back to the 47. It's 2nd and 13.
Yeah, and Dane's had a good night. He's been involved in a lot of stuff, so he's done a really good job of maintaining his gap and then getting down the line quick enough, and he's even defended the option very successfully tonight. So he's had a good night no matter what the score is. Right. He's done a good job.
Well, and he moved to the defensive end spot here not too long ago, and that's really proven to be a good change for the Jay defensive line. Here is 2nd down and 13 from the 47 of Gehlen. Harpinaugh, bell high snap, quick drop out of the pistol set. He runs to his right. He's running for his life toward the right numbers, chucks it out of bounds, and he did get it past the line of scrimmage. He's out of the tackle box. It's an incomplete pass, and it's 3rd and 13.
Yeah, and this is what you need, and there's nobody thinking that MMCRU is going to do anything but punt this ball if they don't get a bunch and just make Gehlen go the long distance. But you got to get the ball back somehow, and if you got to go 95, you got to go 95.
At some point, you need 6 points. However you have to do it, you have to do it. And so it will be 3rd down and 13 for MMCRU. Ball is spotted at the Gehlen 47-yard line. 3 receivers to the right and a tight end left of Eli Harpenaugh in the pistol. Mulder directly behind him as the running back. It's a belt high snap. He drops back to pass. Looking to throw. Pressure's there.
Uh-oh.
He gets away from one. He runs into his own blocker, and then he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there for Harpenaugh. Drake Hodson finally dragged him down. They will give him a yard to the 46, but it'll be 4th down and 12.
Yep, and this is a no-doubt punt. They've really put a lot of pressure on him, and there I thought maybe he'd be able to squeak out of it and run a little bit, but he ran into his own guy, and Drake was right there.
So 4th and 12, and MMCRU's at the Gehlen 46-yard line with 9:43 to play, and it's 28-7 MMCRU. Gehlen will bring their return man back to their own 11-yard line. Snap to Alish. Oh, he got it away just past the rush. Right-footed spiral, and Coons fair catches it at his own 17-yard line. And so Gehlen Catholic will start inside their own red zone. Again, the field position battle. We have now played 1.25 quarters here. I didn't know how I wanted to say that. 14 minutes of football, and there has been one play run on MMCRU's side of the field. It was at the 48-yard line, too, so it's been total domination field position-wise.
Well, that one, I think it was punted from the other side. Does that count where it was actually punted, not snapped?
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
But, yeah, it's been down on one side for sure. Gehlen's been trying to get out of their own end the whole second half.
They got close. They got near midfield at about the 47, but couldn't get across midfield. Snap is bobbled by Roberts. He's going to try and improvise, and he's drilled down. What a hit by Schlanger in the open field to the 18-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he got absolutely smoked.
What a hit. And you love those kind of hits, too, because they're hard, good, clean football plays.
Yep, it was good football. There was nothing but just physicality.
Yes. So that's the kind of football you love to watch. 2nd down and 10. And Gehlen will have it at their own 18-yard line. 9 minutes to go and down 3 possessions with a score 28-7. 2 receivers on either side of the shotgun set of Jack Roberts. And he lines up with the back to his right, and Wyatt Kuntz claps his hands, helmet high snap, drops back to pass, chase from behind, jump throws deep over the right seam. That ball is underthrown of Landon Knipe and incomplete. Blake Berinsky was underneath in coverage, and that incomplete pass makes it 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, that was unique. You don't see a jump pass very often, but he just tried to put everything he had into it because Knipe was scooting down the side there, so he felt that was his best option. But now you're 3rd and 10 behind the sticks, and you have to have a 1st down.
Yeah, you really do. This is not the time to just be hoping to play the field positions game here. 3rd down and 10 for Gehlen Catholic at their own 18-yard line, and now we got a whistle and a timeout from Jeremy Schindler. That's a good timeout because we need a break here with 8:42 to go. 28-7 MMCRU. Timeout on the field will be 3rd and 10. Coming up when we come back on KLEM.
Wagner Auto Supply is proud to support our area athletes and their families. As you travel from game to game, take care of your vehicle with new filters, batteries, windshield wipers, and wiper fluid from Wagner Auto Supply, 1st Street Northwest, Lamars.
Get more because you deserve more with Kylie Petty's Century 21 ProLink, serving Lamar since 2011. Wishing our local teams a successful season. Visit KyliePetty.com for your real estate needs.
Success is born of skill and team. Like the teams playing, CNOS has combined award-winning skill and teamwork into the premier medical facility in the region. For the areas of joint, bone, muscle, nerve, and brain are treated with the skills of comprehensive care from a team of highly trained experts. And CNOS takes care of many of the student athletes in Siouxland. CNOS is proud to bring you this game. Go to cnos.net to learn more.
This is Jack Roberts, and you are listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
Well, we come out of the first timeout called here tonight for either team, and it comes with 8:42 left to play in regulation. Gehlen Catholic's got to have it on 3rd down and 10, trailing MMCRU, number 1 in Class A, 28-7. Jays have 3rd and 10 from the 18. The Royals bring pressure. Roberts rolls right, stops, now rolls back to his left, throws on the run. That ball's deflected up in the air and caught at the 21-yard line, the 22. On the rebound Landon Knipe made a great catch downfield. It's a 4-yard gain, but it's still 4th down and 6.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want a chance to win, yeah, they're going to end up punting this, though.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you think you got a chance to win it, you try to go out and get this. And that's always the tough spot, and I just don't know what the right answer is. You know, you go for this and don't get it, you're basically giving up a score, but at the same time, does that score really matter?
Right. That's it's tough, too, because it's the kids being put in a really tough scenario. 4th and 6 from their own 22-yard line is not ideal.
Snap.
Landon Knipe gets the punt away, and it is a good one. It backs up Gage Johnson to his own 42. He runs it out toward the left seam, and a good
Nice
tackle in the open field. Great play there. I believe that's Marshall Sievers. No, Drake Knipe on that hit. He brings Johnson down to the open field to the 48-yard line. And MMCRU will take over the football after going 3 and out on their last possession.
Yeah, that was a great tackle. And now you assume you're going to see some ball on the ground running for a little bit. But, you know, every time I say that, they end up chucking the ball about 25 yards downfield.
Yeah, here comes the play-action pass, right?
Exactly.
So MMCRU is going to run just the second play in the second half on their side of the field. And, again, it's at the 48-yard line. So here they are, 1st and 10. The Royals line up with Eli Harpinaugh, the pistol, tight end right, 2 receivers left and 1 receiver right. As Harpinaugh claps his hands, it's a knee-high snap. He turns right and gives to Brayson Mulder, running off tackle right side, and he's tackled for a loss back to the 46-yard line. It's a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12 on the hit out there. And it was Knipe that time.
Well, there's 2 of them out there, I think. So if we just say Knipe,
I believe it's Landon this time.
We'll get one of them, I think, because they're both out there making plays. So a good job and 2 good tackles, one by each Knipe there on the last 2 plays.
Yeah, there's usually a few names you can throw out there and be pretty safe when it comes to Gehlen, when it comes to some of these schools.
Yep.
2nd down and 12 here for MMCRU. The 46 going to the I formation. It is Mulder dotting the I, and they give it to him on a counter right side toward the numbers, and he's dragged down at midfield.
I thought the ball popped out there for a second.
I thought so, too. Boy, it looked like it did, but he hung on. 4-yard gain at the 50. It's 3rd and 8. That's a counter play that the Jays run so well. You fake to the fullback one way, and you give it to the tailback on the other.
I love that stuff. That's the good stuff. That's fun, and you got guys moving, and it's hard to read keys and trust keys, and it makes it difficult, but Jays did a good job there.
6.5 to play in this ball game. MMCRU leads Gehlen 28-7. Jays have used 1 timeout already, and the Royals have 3rd and 8 from the 50-yard line. 2 receivers line up left, I formation, and a tight end in there on the right side as well. And the Jays jumped. Some rush off the edge and a 5-yard penalty on a neutral zone infraction. And it'll be 3rd down and 3. Well, I think you know Marcus Renz a little bit. He did point the wrong way, so
dang it, Renzi.
We'll have to give him a little bit of a hard time about that afterwards.
I will.
He corrected himself.
Okay. Yeah, Renzi's a good guy. He loves officiating. You'll see him on the basketball court too, and he even does some NAIA games. So yeah, he likes what he does.
3rd down and 3 here for MMCRU at the Gehlen 45-yard line. Out of the pistol. Low snap. Harpinaugh quick drop, rolls to his left. Lehman's in his grill. He throws to his right, and he makes the catch of the 40. That's Camden Borg. A 5-yard pickup, just enough to move the chains for a Royal 1st down.
Yeah, that was a good job by Borg coming back just enough to get to an open spot and giving your quarterback your numbers so he can throw it right there. You were protected. Even if you got hit from behind, he was going to be able to wrangle that one in, and now you get another set of downs.
I feel like Eli Harpinaugh, no matter how this game turns out, he's going to have nightmares tonight seeing number 64.
Yeah, Dane's everywhere right now.
He's been making so many plays in the backfield. And here's 1st and 10 for the Royals. Big 1st down, keeps the clock moving with 5:30 to go. High formation here for Harpinaugh under center, and he gives to the fullback. John Schmetlin cuts it back, right seam, 35-30. He's in the open field and a 1st down to the 25-yard line, 15-yard pickup, and another fresh set of downs for the Royals.
Yep, and that's when they get in that I formation and they have those 3 big backs, including their quarterback is one of those 3 big backs. That makes it tough.
Yeah, everybody forgets about the Eli Harpinaugh running ability until it becomes very impactful. And we've seen it already. He's run the ball for 2 touchdowns while throwing for 2 touchdowns here tonight as well. That's usually how his game goes. He runs for a couple, throws for a couple, and And the Royals are in business. 1st and 10 of the 25 of Gehlen. Pistol set. Harpinaugh turns left, gives to Schmeller. Running off the right side. He's in between the numbers and the hash and brought down at about the 21-yard line. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, this is just like towards the end of the first half where we said they're just leaning on you a little bit. Uh-oh, we got an injury.
Oh, yeah, we do have a Royal down on the play. I don't think it's, no, it's not John. I think it's a lineman, unfortunately, but there is a Royal down on the play. It is Mason Hill, the right tackle, and he's able to jog off the field, which is good. Kyle Oswald got to him to kind of check on his status, but Hill's able to jog off the field, but he will go toward the bench to kind of lay it out and see what the situation is. So, good to see him jog off the field. And now with 2nd down and 6, 4:36 to play, the Royals, again, continuing their quest toward an unbeaten stretch. They're 5-0, looking to get to 6-0 and up 28-7 in their quest to do so. Of course, a perfect regular season would all but lock up the fact that they will have a possibility of 3 playoff games in Marcus coming up here this fall. Hand off the right side. This is John Schmelin running over a defender on the right numbers of the 20. And he is brought down about the 17. A gain of 4 will make it 3rd and 2.
Yep, and this is right where they want. They're just going to keep feeding the multitude of backs that they have there, and they're going to run big guys at you, and they're going to get in their I formation or spread out, whatever they want to do, because they're in total control, and now you're in 4-down territory. Yeah. No use even trying to kick a field goal. Yeah. It does nothing for anything besides the possibility of getting it blocked. So you're 4 downs from here to the end zone.
And you mentioned the multitude of backs. We haven't even seen Aiden Miller or Luke Kintai today, who have been able to make some plays for them when games get a little out of hand. And they put up some good numbers on their own as well. 3rd and 3 from the 18. Here's Harpinaugh dropping back. He's rolling to his left, being chased by Munoz through the left numbers of the 20. And a penalty flag downfield as Gage Johnson lit up a J downfield. It's a pickup of 2 for Harpinaugh, but this run will not stand as the Gehlen player Nathan Colbeck gets to his feet and kind of walks around there after being shaken up by a big block downfield by Johnson.
Yeah, and the block would have been legal if it was not blindside block. You cannot hit a guy that can't see you, and that's exactly what he did.
So that negates the run, which might have given MMCRU a 1st down. If not, would have been 4th and 1. But a personal foul it is, a blindside block against the Royals, a 15-yard penalty. And so MMCRU is going to have, we'll say 3rd, and they're going to have this from the spot of the foul. So it'll be 3rd down and 15 for MMCRU.
Yep, and that's a big penalty, and I think they would have gotten the 1st down or at least been pretty darn close to it anyway. Yeah. So, but again, they're probably 4 downs here, and they get to continue to run clock. Actually, they're not running the clock.
I think with the penalty, I think they might stop the clock there. So 3:26 to go in the 4th quarter. Royals have 3rd and 15. Low snap. Harpinaugh drops back, dumps it off in the flats. Boulder, left numbers 30. 25 tries to break a defender down, and he goes out of bounds left sideline at the 20-yard line. Gain of 10. It's a 4th down and 5, and now the Royals will have a decision to make here on 4th down. And they're going to change personnel here. Wonder if they might try a field goal. Yeah, I understand kind of the thoughts you have on that. You don't want to risk it getting blocked or anything.
Yeah, and you're not gaining any yards on a miss. You get 3 points, but I don't know.
We'll see if it actually is first. Yeah, it's just a change of personnel. It is going to be a field goal. Okay, it's going to be a 37-yarder, and now Kyle Oswald has to call a timeout. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's actually super comfortable with a field goal call here, but a timeout is called for MMCRU, their first of the half, and it comes with 2:41 to go in the ball game. They lead it 28-7. We'll take a timeout. 4th down upcoming for the Royals. We'll see what they choose to do after this on KLEM Lamar's.
From playtime to game time, Launchpad Children's Museum fuels young imaginations while our hometown sports teams inspire the next generation of champions. Best of luck to our area teams from Launchpad Children's Museum.
Kemp's Dairy of Lamar's is a proud supporter of area athletics. They focus on strong, healthy bodies with all their dairy products. And they continue to strive hard to provide the best possible dairy products to their customers. That's Kemp's Dairy of Lamar's.
This is Drake Hodson, and you are listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
And we welcome you back ahead of 4th down and 5. MMCRU leads Gehlen Catholic by a score of 28-7, and it looks like they will still go for the field goal here. As Gage Johnson, he's going to line this one up 8 yards off of the line of scrimmage. And so this will be a 38-yarder, which would break his school record from earlier this year of 37. Camden Bork will be on for the hole. This ball's on the left hash. The snap is good. The spot is good. Right-footed kick has plenty of leg, and it is no good wide left. A 38-yard field goal wide left, and MMCRU comes up empty with 2:41 to go in this ball game. Gehlen has all 3 timeouts, but they trail by 3 possessions, and so not likely that Gehlen Catholic will be able to do much, but they do have a chance to at least finish the game on a high note, potentially.
Yeah, try to get the going downhill. They really haven't offensively, aside from one drive, haven't had a ton of success. So trying to build something for the upcoming weeks because they still got a lot to play for.
Right. Yeah, because, they're going to have to beat either or potentially both. No, but either South O'Brien or West Sioux. And right now, West Sioux looks very good, very dangerous. South O'Brien having a tough time with West Sioux, so that looks like kind of your winnable ball game. Here's 1st and 10 of the 20-yard line. Roberts out of the shotgun, screen pass right. That is caught outside the numbers. Drake Knipe, and he's trying to make something happen, but there was just nothing developing for him. He's brought down for a loss of the 19. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, just not a lot out there going right to left, and it's a long throw, and you really have to put a lot of zip on it in order to be successful with that.
2:18 left to play in the ball game. MMCRU up 28-7, and they are on their way to a 6-0 record, 4-0 record in Class A District 1. Gehlen will drop back-to-back ball games for the 2nd time this year. 2nd and 11 for the 19. It's Carson Schecker actually in there at quarterback. He gets the high snap, hands it off to Wyatt Coons, who dances his way into some open field at the 27-yard line, picks up 8 yards on the carry, and it's 3rd and 3.
A good hard run there, getting a big chunk of those yards, getting back the yard you lost, and then getting up there a little bit. And it looks like we got some new bodies in there taking some reps.
I think they'll give Wyatt a breather. That'll probably be his last rush. That did get him over 100 yards by my count, so maybe that was part of the equation there. It'll be his 3rd game in his last 4 in which he's eclipsed 100 yards rushing. 3 receivers left and one to the right of Carson Schecker. Again, the sophomore backup quarterback in there. Pistol set. He turns left and he gives up the middle. This is carried for 2 to the 29-yard line. Not sure if that's
Spangler maybe.
And MMCRU is going to call a timeout here. On 4th down and 1, a 2-yard carry there for Gehlen Catholic and Easton Spangler. And 4th down and 1 upcoming. Royals use their 2nd timeout. 1:09 to go, up 28-7. We'll take a timeout. Back after this on KLEM.
Connected Electric South is your electrical headquarters for residential, commercial, and agriculture. Call for a free quote today at 546-5062. Call Connected Electric South for all your electrical needs. 546-5062.
MRK Insurance knows that teamwork is dream work. At MRK Insurance, you get a great partner for all of your insurance needs. Visit them today on Central Avenue in Lamar's for a no-obligation quote for all of your insurance needs. That's MRK Insurance in Lamar's.
Murphy, Collins, and McGill PLC in Lamar's supports our local student athletes, trusted for generations with reliable legal guidance. So when you are in need of legal services, consult with one of the attorneys at Murphy, Collins, and McGill PLC, located at 38 First Avenue Northwest, Lamar's, Iowa.
This is Quentin Johnson, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back on 4th down and 1. Gehlen Catholic goes for it after the Royal timeout. They get the 1st down, a 2-yard pickup to the 31, and the Jays move the chains here with about a minute to go in this ball game. That came after an MMCRU timeout. Regardless of what the messaging was for that timeout, Jays get a 1st down, a yard picked up there for Spangler, and that might allow them to just kind of take this one down a bit. They'll be able to snap it one more time. And MMCRU is going to walk out of here a winner as Gehlen will line up for potentially one final play down 28-7. Schecker lines up with a pistol. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Snap to Schecker. He turns left, gives to Spangler. There's really nowhere to go. And he stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and that is going to polish this one off. MMCRU and their magical run continues further. A 6-0 record for the MMCRU Royals, well past any previous win total they had ever had as an 11-man program in a row anyway. And this Royal team is poised to play for a district championship next week against West Sioux. Your final score once again from Jim Lorenzen Field. It is MMCRU 28, Gehlen Catholic 7. Let's take a break and we'll come back with post-game coverage here in just a moment on KLEM Radio.
Certified Public Accountants Cruz & Cruz extend their support to all the athletes and remind everyone, in the spirit of sports, participation is more important than winning. Cruz & Cruz Accounting, proud to be a sponsor of KLEM Sports.
Gehlen Catholic School, excellence in education, leadership through Christ. For information, check their website at GehlenCatholic.org.
Hey sports fans, this is Perry from the Ace Hardware downtown Lamar's. Maintain your home and yard with advice and products from Ace. We'll help you get it done more efficiently so you have time to go to the next game. Ace Hardware Lamar's.
A home is a safe place to be, a roof over your head, and 4 walls to keep out the heat and cold. It's a child's laughter, a mother's song, and a father's strength. It's where we go for comfort and to share joy. It's your first school and your first church. It's where memories are shared. Hi, this is Julie Hurt, your Century 21 ProLink real estate agent. Whatever a home means to you, I am here to help you find the home you are looking for. Call 540-7757 and let me, Julie Hurt, help you make a house your new home.
Score big with the Sitzman Real Estate Team. Hometown realtors Shane, Peggy, Lance, and Patty are cheering the Lamar's Bulldogs and Gehlen Jays on to a victory. Buying or selling, call the Sitzman Real Estate Team today at 546-7881.
For all of your commercial or residential concrete or construction needs, JMax Construction is ready for you. At JMax Construction, you can be sure that your project will be handled with great customer service as well as the best of class construction and concrete work. Call JMax Construction and Concrete today at 540-0574. Peace Pizza House is your destination before and after the game. Whether you need to feed the whole family or just looking to get out before the game, make sure to stop at Peace Pizza House. You'll find many appetizers, burgers, salads, pasta, and of course, Peace Pizza House outstanding pizza selections. Your entire family is sure to find something they're looking for. Peace Pizza House would like to wish our local teams the best of luck this season.
Siouxland Glass is so glad you're supporting local athletes and listening to this great matchup. Siouxland Glass wants me to tell you that if you have a chip or crack in your windshield or need the whole thing replaced, you can call them at 540-9080. Siouxland Glass.
Floyd Valley Healthcare wants you to play at the peak of your skills. Don't forget to stretch your muscles, hydrate, and schedule your wellness checks to reach your full potential. Best of luck from Floyd Valley Healthcare in Lamar.
Make sure your life runs smoothly with an upgraded internet package from Premier Communications, connecting you with the internet speed and television access package that best fits your wants and needs. Premier Communications is happy to support our area coaches, athletes, and the parents who support them. Have a great season.
This is Mason Small, and you're listening to Jays Football on KLEM.
We welcome you back to Jim Lorenzen Field in Lamar's for our post-game coverage tonight as number 1 ranked MMCRU stays undefeated with a 28-7 victory over Gehlen Catholic. Alongside Gabe Davis, Daniel Versteg with you. And while this one was just a domination through and through, Gabe, the Royals 326 yards of offense to Gehlen Catholic's 152. Took maybe a half to get there, but once they did get up and rolling in the second half of play, they were they looked like the number 1 team in the state.
Yeah, they looked good, and give Gehlen credit. They hung around there, and you know, you just even look at the amount of people on the sidelines and the things like that, and it was one-sided, but Gehlen hung in there, but really MMCRU just imposed their will on the Jays throughout the night, you had the one drive and you think, hey, maybe, you start the second half if you can get a stop and you can do something, but it wasn't to be. They scored right away to start the second half, and then that's about all she wrote. Gehlen just never got anything going offensively, had a tough time throwing the ball aside from the long one to Knipe at the end of the first half. And, Wyatt ran the ball really well at 100 yards or right around there, and he did a great job. The guys were doing what they could, but just couldn't string enough together to keep them off the field as well. Keeping MMCRU off the field would have been a big part of it too. It just couldn't do it.
I think the most impressive part to me is that the Royals did throw 3 interceptions tonight and still were able to win by 3 possessions. That just shows you, I guess, how lopsided this game could have been had they got what they wanted. But it shows also their resiliency. They stared some adversity in the face and responded to it.
Yeah, they did. And you're going to have those games, especially against teams that know you well and not necessarily anything other than know your personnel and know who you are and that you battled with for a long time. So you're going to have to win some ugly games if you're going to ever win a championship. You find your way to win. And this wasn't the most beautiful thing. There's going to be plenty on both sides, but at the same time, MMCRU gets to go out of here and they're still undefeated and they still have everything in front of them. And Gehlen can build off of this. They know they're going to have to be able to find a way to throw the ball a little bit more or find different ways to run the ball. Tonight it was really just to turn around and hand it off to Wyatt. Spangler couldn't really get things going on the ground, and so they're going to have to find some different ways offensively, but there's still plenty of time for that.
They've got South O'Brien coming up next week, and then they host West Sioux to finish off the regular season, while MMCRU, it could be for a district title here next Friday when the Royals host number 4 ranked West Sioux, and then they finish the year at HMS. I think it's guaranteed that the Royals are in the playoffs at 4-0, regardless of how Sioux Central and HMS turned out. MMCRU's in a good spot there to be a playoff team, but keep winning. They're going to get a chance to host a number of games in Marcus here coming up in the not-too-distant future. Eli Harpena accounted for all 4 touchdowns tonight. He threw for 2 while completing 176 yards worth of passing plays, and then he ran for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns here tonight. His 2 passing touchdowns, they end up going to Gage Johnson, both of them. He caught 2 passes for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was very effective here this evening as the Royals improved to 6-0 overall, 4-0 in the district. Gehlen Catholic now 2-4, 2-2 in district play, and that sets up a very crucial game against South O'Brien here coming up next week, because the Jays are now tied for 3rd in the district race with Sibley Ocheyedan. Got some ties all the way up and down the district standings at this point. So a good win there for MMCRU. We'll have a recap at some point with Coach Kyle Oswald, so be on the lookout on KLEM1410.com and on our website or on air, that kind of stuff. We'll have some of those interview clips for you. Jeremy Schindler, the head coach of the Jays, will join us on the KLEM Coaches Corner tomorrow morning, as will head coach Ken Vigdahl, as he'll have a day to digest the big 38-6 win for the Bulldogs last night over Sioux City West. And I think the goal will be to try and get head coach Tim Osterman on. The Hawks are a few minutes away from a double-digit point victory on homecoming here tonight. They lead to Fonda at late in the 4th quarter. So I think we're going to get Coach Osterman on and kind of round out the coach's corner in that regard. So again, your final score tonight, MMCRU 28, Gehlen Catholic 7. Next week, we will be heading to Paulina as Gehlen Catholic will look to try and secure a playoff spot potentially against South O'Brien. Our coverage will start at 6:15, and kickoff is at 7 o'clock from Paulina right here on KLEM. Until then, we'll say so long. For Gabe Davis, I'm Daniel Versteg. This has been high school football in Class A District 1 from Jim Lorenzen Field in Lamars right here on KLEM Lamars. Good evening, everyone.
This is 1410 KLEM Lamars and on 96.9 FM.
There's not